Is nobody coming in or what? You're going to sit here and watch me piss around on the keyboard? Come on, guys. Come on. Come in. Chitty chat. Oh, well done me vape. Hang on. Oh. Oh, where is the people? Hi guys. You all doing all right? It's a bit late tonight, isn't it? Got myself carried away, as you do. I would have thought Rich might have been around at the moment, but I haven't seen him. So see what he's about. Oh. I am good, sir. I am good. Maybe a little tired. Been quite a weekend. But, yeah, pretty much together. Oh. Although, my back says differently, I must admit. So, not quite sure where everybody is tonight. Probably doing respectable things. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Don't have to say. If you still smoke, seriously, give it a try while you still can. Well, in my case, I still can. So usually I don't have anything to say. So if nobody comes in, I haven't got much to talk about. I suppose we could get the cardboard cut out of hands over and interview him. It's 5 minutes of hilarity, no doubt. The stupid thing is, normally Sass would be around, wouldn't he? Oh, Sasquatch would be here, knocking about, or Failed Muso would be here. And which would have been great because they could talk to each other and I could nip downstairs and go and get myself a coffee. Of course, I haven't got one on me. So as you probably gathered, I've been messing with expression tonight. One expression. Another expression. Who knows what the next chord would be? You'd have to have a vote. It probably would have been that one. And none of you chappies coming in for a chat. Come on. Be good. What's going on? Yeah, Mr. Wiggly's show was pretty intense tonight. It was a good one. Really good. Ollie seems like a pretty decent guy, you know. Need to charge this bugger. Should probably put more oil in it actually if I had any sense whatsoever. I don't know about you, but I can never get the bloody tops off these things. They make them too smooth. What we need is a little bit of duct tape, because as you know, every studio needs a bit of duct tape in it, for one reason or another. As soon as you put it around the top, it comes apart. Unbelievable. So, nobody venturing in? Come and talk about whatever you want. Do you know what? I think this is the empty one. Yep, it's the empty one. Yay. Well, done quite a lot of overhomes this week, which seemed quite apt considering that the BX8 was announced, wasn't it? So not only did I have overhomes in my face all day, all week, and then I had to talk about them Thursday and Friday as well. So I'm all overhome down now. I think you can have too much overhome. At a guess, I'd say this isn't working very well. I keep adjusting this bloody ring at the top. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to do. I just play around with it. Or whatever it's doing, it's not doing it well. Well, gonna need somebody to come in, guys, because you can't listen to me talk all the time, because I'm shit and boring. Need others to make it more eclectic. It's either that or you sit here and watch me vape for an hour. How boring could that be? Pretty boring. Maybe not like me dancing in a song. It was suggested. I can't remember who suggested it now. Might have been Adam. Or Damskies, he's commonly known. What's this? See, not even Dom's coming in. No. Really not getting much going on that. I'm going to charge up a bit more, see if that improves matters. Alright. See if we can mess up with this sound more. I'm sure there's a way of ruining it. Interesting. Can't even remember. I'd say that required Fender Rhodes. I think probably we're going to use my current favourite Fender Rhodes, which is Stage 73 version 2 from the Arturia plugin collection. And then put a tiny bit of black hole on it. Make sure it's not on all MIDIs. Make it Hydra only. Bit quieter. Oh, finally. Hang on, it's found me mouse, hang on. There he is.
One second. Getting the chat up. Oh, I'm getting some kind of... Hang on.
It must be coming out the speakers.
Okay. Now.
That seems better.
So.
Oh, big echo. Big echo.
Hang on. Let me see if I can. Maybe that's what echo cancellation's for. How about now?
That is a lot better.
It sounds like you get one back.
Yeah, every now and again.
I'll speak quietly.
Yeah.
For at least a minute or two.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm good. You?
Yeah. Bit knackered out. But nothing major.
I'm a little. But
you out on the back porch?
Yeah.
Nice.
Enjoyed Wiggly's show today.
Yeah. It was a deep one, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's a real... look at that.
Oh, incoming.
The plugin, they won't tell me what it is. So this is Avid reminding me for the 1050th time that there's a plugin update I need to do. And yet when you launch their Avid Link software and search high and low, there is nothing indicating it needs updating. Nothing. Zero. There's a bunch of stuff that I haven't installed because I don't need it. But not an update to be found. And this has been going on for over a year, and I just don't.
Or maybe they're sending you updates for the stuff you haven't downloaded.
I don't think it would show up in that form. Like, for example, if you had an HD system and you didn't have an HD driver on it, it might prompt you to install the HD driver so you can access their hardware. That I can understand. But this says plugin update available, is what it says in so many words, which gives us a few clues. One, it's an update, not an install. And two, it's a plugin. And I have high and low dozens and dozens of times. Nope. But thanks for the idea. Thanks for thinking of me, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is a gorgeous, gorgeous day out here today.
Yeah, it looks it.
And
it's been shite here.
We've got the attic fan going in the house, so it's a noisy. And I don't want to shut it off because my wife is broiling in the wintertime and walking outside in snow and bare feet and stuff. So I don't want to turn off the fan. So I came out here. Enjoy the sunshine. Admire, decide which grill I want to use for tonight's dinner. And, life could be worse.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had a beautiful day yesterday. Really hot. I actually burnt my feet on the grass.
You mean on
Pretty,
the turf?
on the AstroTurf, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, real grass doesn't seem to have that feature.
No, the synths actually look really good on the turf.
They do indeed. And yeah, and it was really, really hot. Burnt my feet on the grass,
Ah,
AstroTurf. And today, cloudy, cold, shite, wet and rainy.
no,
Can't get can't get two in a row.
you know what they say. You don't like the weather, stick around 10 minutes.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, Will Joseph, it is a pretty damn good life, I have to admit. And when I get caught complaining, I feel ridiculous.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Somebody I hadn't talked to in like a long, long time was talking to me recently, and he goes, "I remember back then you were complaining about this, and you were complaining about." I felt like I felt crazy. I was like, "Really? Wow!" I've completely blotted that out of my memory because back then I don't really think I had a lot to complain about. And I still
Well,
don't.
maybe there's something about being in your 50s that makes you want to complain about things.
No, this would have been back when I was in my 30s that he knew me. So
Wow, you started early.
yeah, I like to get it in there, make
Yeah,
sure.
get in there, my man.
Yeah, I'm always, I like working expediently. But anyway, I felt so embarrassed that I said, "I can't believe that's your memory of it. That's horrible." I don't feel that way now. That's for sure.
Well, I spent most of today banging my head against a wall with WIDI, but WIDI on PC.
Oh, we
And
need the hardware
yeah,
wireless MIDI device.
yeah. And let's just say, okay, guys, I surrender. I give up.
I do know people who've had good results with it, but I don't know what they're trying to do versus what you're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just trying to do groups of 4 per WIDI Hub Pro.
Which it claims to be able to support. No
Oh
doubt.
yeah, and does beautifully if it's plugged into a Mac.
Well,
And they
what
say
can I
you
tell
can
you?
run 2 simultaneously, 2 hubs, WIDI Hub
Hubba hubba.
Pros simultaneously next to each other. Apparently not on the PC. I can have one, but it doesn't send data to everything, and you can't select individual instruments in Cubase. You can only select the hub, and only one instrument will sound on the hub. It's like, and so I thought, okay, that's not too bad, because really what I wanted to do more than anything else is to be able to send clock from the door host to everything, to synchronize everything. And it can't even do that. I can start the Karma on the Oasis, and then it sort of like loses time, tries to catch up, loses time again, catches up, gets a little bit ahead of itself, slows down, stops, waits, tries,
Driver,
catches up, and that
driver
is in the
compatibility?
space of 4 bars.
Impressive. Driver compatibility?
Don't seem to be any issues. Everything detects as it
You might
should.
call that an issue, what you just described.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's like a lot of these detection things that they have on Windows. It goes, yes, there are no problems. Really? What about the fire?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go, fire? What fire?
Ah,
So, no, so I give up. I give up. I'm going back to a multi-way through box and 5-pin DIN MIDI cables.
a Raspberry Pi and or some homebrew Linux machine. Isn't that what all the kids are doing these days? No,
Well, the thing is that I seem to have fallen into a bit of a void here with it, because if you go online and try to glean some information on this, Windows 11 isn't really covered at all. And when it comes to MIDI on PC, it's vague at best. So,
Well, you could just keep moving further and further away from the operating system you know will work. That's one option.
to be honest with you, if there had been a substantial Mac here, shall we say, nearby, the MIDIs would be plugged into that, and I'd be running the door on that instead.
And theoretically, you'd spend a lot more time writing music and a lot less time trying to make your system
You
work.
think?
Theoretically.
Yeah.
That doesn't always work out that way, but at least you have that availability.
Yeah.
That
So
option.
I literally had a whole day. I could have been playing, writing, whatever. What am I doing? I'm on my knees plugging things into the back of bloody units, waiting for them to glow the right colour blue.
Doesn't it make you want to like run an ad and buy an old Opcode Studio 5 and call it a day?
Yeah, I know.
Install OS 9 in an old Mac SE.
Well, I tell you what. One of those new Mac Mini things with the M2 chip in it is beginning to look more and more attractive every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Having a hard time. I'd be pretty surprised if by the end of the year I haven't replaced the older of the laptops I'm using, which is not this one, but I have a MacBook Air from 2012 that I really like and works great. And but I would love to get into a more current CPU environment with their business. And I could see that happening with the next generation of either MacBook Airs or maybe it depends on what they do with the MacBook Pro line, because they do have MacBook Pros that are more or less equivalent to the MacBook Airs. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, yeah. I must admit that, like I say, the Mini has been a very good workhorse. Everything that I've asked that thing to do, it has done it, and that's a 2012 as well, and is running now, in fact. And
we're soaking in it.
Sorry?
We're soaking in it. There's an old American television.
Yeah. We're basking in it, mate. But that revelator that you said I should get,
that
revelator you said I should get for her as well has been
what, the microphone?
The audio interface for it.
The audio interface.
Yeah. That revelator thing, and that's been absolutely faultless. Plugged it in. Yeah, cool. Let's go. You know.
Are you taking people requests today? Because you're getting a lot of them in the chat window.
Am I?
Yeah.
But this see now, it's too far away. I can't see a bloody thing. Hang on. I gotta get closer. I need glasses. Play us a song. How good you singing, Rich?
Ken Bong, can you tell me what's wrong?
There you go. Beautiful. Yeah, so I don't know, mate.
If you have a good security system, you could like count people at the front door like their auditions, and you could splice together a recording of like singing. Thank you, Dom.
Yeah, I need to get one of those doorbell cameras or something that can record them. Yeah.
So you can you can actually start recording, and then you go, "Who's there, please?" Can you tell me what's wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Because it'd be sweet, wouldn't it? So.
And then you get somebody to put some kind of combination hip hop and modular thing together that fits into rhythmically, and you've got an anthem.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I seem to remember those trees behind you being a lot shorter than that.
That may be, depends on what direction you're looking in. So that may have been this direction,
Ah,
or it
okay.
could have been that direction where they're really tall. You
Yeah,
see.
there's the tall ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
because 9 times out of 10, when I see a photograph of your backyard, it's normally in 8 inches of snow.
So quite often.
Go,
But
hey,
that's
look at
also,
my backyard. Yeah.
that's also because traditionally we're touring in the summer and I'm never here.
Mm.
So, I mean, pre-pandemic, back when the world was the world, I would be here very much in the summertime just because I'd be over there with you guys,
Yeah.
playing festival after festival after festival in the mud, which I love to do and can't wait to do again. And it all kicks in soon.
Well, it's one thing that I really love about. I don't know whether you'd call it American culture or what, but you don't seem to have fences.
No, quite often they do these days. So the neighborhood I grew up in, for example, where we
Mm.
sold my father's house like 2 years ago, and it's nearly 25% worth more now than it was then. Um, those yards were all sort of connected, and if you had a fence, it was like a wooden log fence with like two slats. It wasn't, stockade. It wasn't like my compound. And
Yeah.
you drive through that same neighborhood right now, and it's a vinyl jungle with these giant vinyl walls separating quarter-acre properties, like
Mm.
some kind of like compound. And the reason why it feels like a compound for them is because they're paying $800,000 for these properties now, which my parents bought in the early 1950s for, I believe, it was $17,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that.
So everybody feels like my land, and they're protecting.
Mm.
So there are these, and arguably vinyl fencing is not necessarily going to be the best protection you can buy for your family, but nevertheless, you find these thick vinyl fences stuffed onto these properties that are directly adjacent to each other. Hey, Robbie.
Good afternoon, sir.
Where?
There you go.
Knackered.
Yeah.
Really tired.
So
But-
you thought you'd come on here?
So I thought I could. No, do you know what? You know what threw me up here was we just finished watching Gentleman Jack with Saran Jones, which is very good. We quite like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, just finished watching that. We're flicking through the channels, and Jackie lands on the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and this kind of like a military tattoo thing going on, hosted by Tom Cruise.
Oh, that famous British guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that famous British person. Yeah, and I just can't stand marching bands and bagpipes and all of that shite. So I said, "Oh, we're going to go upstairs." "Oh, you're going to leave me on my own now?" she says. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, take a wild guess.
I just don't do all that pageantry shit. I really don't. Not a royalist, me.
I love bagpipes and marching drums.
Sorry to disappoint. No, it just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it.
In fact, the last time Ty was on, I was going to ask him if he was doing a bagpipe overdub that night.
Oh dear. I mean, it's one of those instruments that only the people that can play it really well can play it. It's not something that I knew someone once who tried to learn the bagpipes, and it was just awful. And I could never say it to them. I go, "Oh yeah, that's good, well done," because it is quite an impressive feat. Let's be honest. It's not an easy thing to play, but
No, it's not.
the sound, good gravy. Yeah,
Cuts through those drums real well.
it cuts through something. Yeah.
And the drums are magnificent when they're done well. There are some, like I'm kind of a real fan of high-end marching band and drum corps stuff, and there are some things happening in parts all over the world that are just mind-blowing rhythmically, and I love that stuff. I love hearing people playing rhythm together, and it almost doesn't matter the context to me.
Well, one of my favourite rock drummers is a guy called Craig Blundell, and he's ex-Royal Marines marching band.
Uh-huh.
And so he, I mean, he's a brilliant rock drummer. I mean, just incredibly, he's Stephen Wilson's drummer for the last God knows how many years.
I thought
And
Nick Virgilio plays with him.
no, it's been
Not any longer?
in the last, I don't know how many years. It was Gavin Harrison with Porcupine Tree, and then it became Marco Miniman. Chad Wackerman did a stint.
None of whom are any slouches there.
No, quite.
The nice drummers you've run.
And then after Chad, I think Craig kind of took
Excuse me.
Incoming.
Yeah,
At who?
But I watched a video clip of him. He went back to the Royal Marines school, the whatever it is, the training thing, and he sat and talked with the guys in the current band, the Royal Marines marching band, and the amount of respect and then the amount of skill, makes me sick. But it's very impressive. I can't, bagpipes. No.
Well, in this house, it happens that my wife is an excellent marching snare drummer who was in drum corps her whole life up to the point where I met her and well into the time that we've been together. My kids, who are both very musical, actually got their start playing in drum corps with her. People see my kids being musical and they assume it's attributable to my career in music, and to some extent that's no doubt true, but they got their start in both cases very deeply on the streets, playing parades, serious rudimental drumming on snare drums. Their group didn't have bagpipes. Their group had, if any, tonal elements at all. They were either percussion or brass.
Yeah.
But,
because it's big over there, isn't it? Marching bands.
It's somewhat bigger here than it is over there, according to my British friends who were here and went to a marching band competition with us at the time when my kids played in the local marching band and competed. They were both very well accomplished snare drummers, and at one point one of my kids was teaching the snare line and the other kid was captaining the snare line. Nice. So it ran deep in this house and in our culture of raising children, which as you know, you get involved in your children's pursuits to some extent. You try to help out where you can, whether it's dance lessons or whatever it is. You try to be helpful, and it was a big deal around here. Still is in a way.
There is nothing quite beats the sound of excuse the pun. Beats the sound of a marching snare. Cut through anything.
And there's different kinds. There's the Scottish kind, which is incredibly fit, and then there's deeper, more sustaining versions of same. But hearing people playing complicated rhythm together is almost as exciting and profound to me as listening to people singing and breathing together. There's something about when people breathe together that I think is really, really special in life. And it's one of the things that makes choral performances so unbelievably moving. And one of the things that has sort of nothing to do with the shit that we normally discuss in terms of electronic music. But nevertheless, I think it's really important to me. And I quite enjoy hearing both people percussing in large numbers and people singing in large numbers.
Human beings like to synchronize, don't they?
It's a great thing for people to do together. I mean, the more things we can find to do together that doesn't create conflict, the better. As far as I'm
absolutely.
It's like the weird thing that happened here when Fiona was let go, and she was here 24/7. And what tended to happen is we drank coffee and tea at the same time. We ate at the same time. We went to bed at the same time. And what that meant was that it didn't matter where I was. I'll come into the house, I'll come upstairs, and I'm dying for a pee, and she's sitting on it.
Sitting on what? Sorry. Oh, the toilet, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Every time.
And you've only got one in that house, that's right.
But the other one's, full.
Well, I've actually... Come to think of it, there is more than one.
Yeah, sort of.
Although nobody would know.
One is used as a toilet, the other is not.
I've used them both.
Yeah, It was on one of those rare occasions where. See, that's something Richard does when he goes around to somebody's house. He's got to try out all the bathrooms.
Yeah,
You'll be ages here. We've got
I have
four.
Marks them down. Yeah, marks them down. Yeah, there wasn't a marked down because there wasn't enough toilet paper.
I've been busted. Busted.
Yeah, every single time she'll be there. Or I'll be sitting there and then she'll come and go,
We literally have our own. It's like the ensuite in the main bedroom, the master bedroom. The master bedroom. Our bedroom. That's hers. That's her domain. If I dare to use the toilet there, it's like, what are you doing? I'm going to the toilet. Are you using my toilet? Oh, it's like that, is it?
Oh,
okay.
You can't use that toilet. That's
I know it's
my toilet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I have to come into here and use my toilet, which is the ensuite in this room because this is a bedroom, obviously, and so I use that. And then the main bathroom is the kids. And again, if I dare, if because it's a little closer, and maybe if the urgency is of a certain level, if I dare to use that, the kids are like, "What are you doing? You can't use that." Oh.
God, the only way I could have en suite is put a bucket in the corner. Which isn't such a bad idea now. Come to think of it,
I used to live in a house that was literally 2 up, 2 down, and the bathroom upstairs was you had to come up the stairs, and there was literally there was no landing. It was when you got to the top of the stairs, you either went left or you went right. Left into my son's bedroom, my eldest, or right into mine and Jackie's bedroom. So you went right. You had to come through our bedroom, then through a box bedroom, and then into the bathroom at the other end. So yeah, it was pretty useless and not very private.
In other news, it's time for Kent to look like a twat, which is at least once a day. My Hydrosynth detuning.
Yes.
I found out what it is.
Faulty MIDI cable.
Is it Cubase?
No.
Could be. Is it?
But it isn't.
Could be.
But it isn't.
Is it the mild-mannered janitor? Sorry.
And I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you pesky kids. No, because what it did, it kept detuning 3 semitones. Well, almost 3 semitones. It was at an amount that was like, oh, rather than just, whatever, right? Okay, it was the Roland TR8.
The TR8?
The TR8 was doing it.
How was it doing it? Was it like secretly coming in?
Dusty Pot. But why?
I knew him once.
Yeah. Nice guy. It was a bit random.
Dusty Pot.
Yeah, Dusty Pot. But the thing is, why was it sending pitch bend information?
I don't know
why is the drum machine sending pitch bend information?
Did you not figure that bit out? You just figured out the culprit, but you didn't figure out how he did it.
I think it's a Dusty volume pot.
But what's volume got to do with pitch bend?
Nothing. But
You're
when I put the MIDI
synth engineer, for crying out loud.
When I put the MIDI monitor up, it was reading pitch bend information from that bloody TR8.
Wow.
Have you solved the mystery?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
TR8.
So it's a dirty slider or something, because they'll all need doing. I'm not going to just do
Chuck
one.
it in the bin.
And it was just randomly sending pitch bend information, but always down and always almost 3 semitones. Wow. The fuck is that?
There'll be a simple electronic reason why it's going down, I suppose. There'll be some.
How's it connected?
USB.
So is it actually sending pitch bend data that you could identify?
It's in the monitor. It's been identified as pitch bend data.
Well, no, I understand that you're hearing it as having dropped 2.5 semitones or whatever it is, but
No, it's actually listed in the MIDI monitor
In the
as
CC.
pitch bend.
Yeah.
Oh,
As-
so it's not. So that was my question. Is it actually?
Yeah. It's actually sending pitch
So
bend
is
information.
this like perhaps some exotic feature of the MP3 in the in this tiny roll in whatever it is?
Oh, the TR8 drum machine. Yeah. Like I say, why does a drum machine need to send pitch bend information?
Well, you'd be
Send it.
surprised.
Never mind anything else.
You know, I used to go the other way when I was younger. I used to use a Garfield Dr. Click to send control voltages into the back of the Lindrum to change the pitch of the toms and congas. But the drum machine wasn't sending the pitch bend information; it was receiving the pitch bend,
Ah, I
Yes.
see.
the control voltage information.
Yeah.
One of the great things about Garfield Dr. Click is it had two control voltage generators, variable shape and variable periodicity relative to the rhythm.
Yeah.
You can get rhythmically accurate modulation shapes in
Right.
1983.
Yeah.
It was a clever bit of kit, that wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah. See, but what really pissed me off more than anything else was in my template, I had a whole bunch of MIDI modifiers that I'd set up to do various tasks so I can do everything from one board. And really what I should do is stop being lazy, move around the room more and not use the modifiers. But there you are. But I had to get rid of all these MIDI modifiers in trying to isolate what was causing the problem. And even now, the thought of having to set up all those MIDI modifiers and what they did, really, maybe I won't bother. Seems like too much bleeding hard work to me now. Over months, I put those things together.
It's okay, just play the Rolly.
Yes, that's another thing. The Rolly, very selective in terms of I can play into the Arturia software and it just goes, yeah, go for it. No messing around, no configuring anything. But so many of the other plugins that supposedly have MPE support, you have to do a little bit of fettling, whether it's with the dashboard or whether it's with the software itself.
I think I've come to the conclusion that the words MPE support means we will receive on multiple MIDI channels at the same time. End of story.
Yeah, not much
In
else.
other words, there's nothing else to it other than now you can take that data and do what you want with it. Goodbye.
Yeah. So yeah, you're on your own.
It was
Yeah.
MPE compatible, and now you're on your own. And whereas, for example, UVI did provide some Falcon patches that are MPE compatible that work pretty much straight out of the box. So, in other words, you have to do that. You have to make it available on multiple MIDI channels in order to execute polyphonic MPE. That's a given.
Yeah.
But what are you doing for me beyond that? Are we back to Novation telling me to map all my own parameters every time I want to use something? Because that wasn't a happy day for me.
Yeah, I think that's going to be our life from now on. And even with the new one, it's going to be the same deal, man.
Well, I'm glad that I've got software that actually has proper mappings already in the patches that I can then take and move forward from.
Yeah.
And we've already discussed probably ad nauseum my distaste for the fact that you have to actually launch software to make any significant modifications to the way the physical rise is operating. But besides that, it all basically works and sounds pretty good. So
I'm with you on that with the Rody software and stuff. But it's the nature of not having a panel on the hardware. If there was, so much other hardware which does a specialist job, shall we say,
Yeah.
would have a little LCD and some buttons, and that's all that software is doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought one of those little blocks things. The things
Yeah.
about.
I have one. I have a block too.
I love
Yeah.
it. I broke it, so I was like, but, and I also crashed the software somehow doing some third-party nonsense with it, and it never was the same after that.
Very good.
It's always surprised me how if I can connect the block to the PC with Bluetooth,
Yeah.
no problem, and it'll go in. It'll call it, it's a block. Cool.
Yeah.
The rise, go fuck yourself.
Oh, really?
Every time, every single time. The Rise has never, ever, ever connected to a PC yet, and I've tried them all. And
On
it's like,
Bluetooth?
nope.
Do you remove the MIDI cable? Do you remove the MIDI cable at the keyboard end?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
It
when it
does-
comes to
it
doing the
works on a
Bluetooth
cable.
detection, it goes unsupported device cannot connect. Try again, and that's all you'll ever get. But the block, which is a later addition, it goes, oh look, rolling block, and connects and works with the PC, but not the Rise. Never with the Rise.
Interesting.
So
Yeah,
something
I
got
the Bluetooth
updated.
working, and I got the USB working on my little block, but
Yeah.
I was using, somebody had done some interesting kind of freelancing with the software. And it's cool ideas that they were doing, but after I did it, even when I restored to factory settings, it was never quite the same functionality wise. It lost some of its abilities, and then getting a bit frustrated and jabbing it very hard, I think I might have done it a bit of damage. I didn't throw it across the room, but I nearly did.
But it's really quite annoying because I must admit, with the Rise, when it comes to connecting to an iPad or
I mean, it's very
the
cool
Mac
idea,
Mini,
isn't it?
like that, no problem. Done.
I've just been watching those two little things that Andy and Jim put up on their thing. I was so sad that's why I said I'm jealous, because I was jealous because it's round the corner from where I live. And blah, blah, blah. And imagine that though, having a couple of those blocks running there, jamming a couple of blocks on Bluetooth. You know, how cool would that have been? You know? The dogs are agreeing with me.
It's all kicking off.
But that's why I got mine in the first place. I thought that'd be a really cool, like, just knocking about and performance-based thing. And then I discovered the Equator and Cypher, and how good are those synths for the MPE. And it's all dialed in, and it's all there, like you say, Richard. It's all there, isn't it? And they make sounds like nothing else.
Well, the strobe software was even better, but it disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on their site or anything anymore.
No, I've still got my copy, but it's still we've got an old computer.
Is Fiona outside with a golf club in a 90 again?
No, nothing's going on. Nothing's going on.
Chasing cars.
We're chasing car thieves.
She goes around terrorising teenagers.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've got something deadly up here.
I was at my allotment this afternoon before coming out to London, and there was a swarm of wasps outside the gates, the one across the way from me. I went to get the water turned on to do my watering. I just walked into a cloud of wasps.
Wow,
very weird.
That's
I
very.
I was amazed I didn't get stung, because there were hundreds of them. Really, really nasty.
Good evening.
Hello, him.
Oh, it's Unwin.
It's me.
Him.
How are you all? What the fuck are you lot doing on? It's a Sunday night, for God's sake.
Well, none of us have got girlfriends.
Say again?
None of us have got girlfriends.
Oh, that's such a lie.
No, bagpipes sent me here.
What? Who?
The missus is watching some Platinum Jubilee military tattoo with bagpipes.
And for fuck's sake.
And Tom Cruise.
For getting out of the room and coming and hanging out with us.
Oh my God. Why didn't she just hit you across the head with a hammer?
No, she's watching it. I didn't want to watch it. So
nobody said.
I just mean in terms of getting rid of you.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Well, she loves me, I think. That's why she doesn't want to hit me on the head. Although she might not love me. She said, "Oh, you're going to leave me on my own?" I said, "Yes, you can have Tom Cruise in your bagpipes." And
wow.
I'm surprised there's so many people still watching.
The Tom Cruise thing is just
I suspected all these people in the chat to 10 minutes of me playing the keyboard at the beginning of this.
Okay.
And they stayed.
And they stayed. Can you believe it? They're a hardy bunch.
I can't believe I missed it. I literally just went and got a coffee for whatever reason. Just looked on YouTube and it's like, fucking hell, he's on again. Fuck.
I'm a bored, sad, lonely man.
It's a real cliche, but I am literally popping in for 5 minutes, and then I've got to get back to work. So, how are we all anyway? Are we all okay?
Yeah, it's been.
Oh, that good.
Oh, that sounded quite painful.
How are you, Rob?
Tired, but yeah.
Hello, babe. What were you making all that noise about?
Tired and
Of love uninspired. Ain't it a freaking shame? I'm so tired. Yeah, I know the lyrics to all the classics.
shame
How
you
are
don't
you,
know the
Grace?
tunes.
No, true enough.
Are you
I'm
well?
busy. I'm in the same boat as you. Super busy.
Good.
Stop.
Oh, is it good? I mean, I say it's good. I don't know whether it is good.
I think my bank balance will say it's good, but
That's good.
that's for the
Okay.
time.
Good.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I'm not cheating my words. It's very good, and it's two very, very long-standing clients who I love to bits. So,
Oh,
I'm
fantastic.
happy, really, and yeah. So, and I'm juggling.
Are you away long?
Well, I'm away every day this month working.
Okay.
I'm juggling 2 different jobs, and they're both getting me disappearing on them for a week to do the other one. But I've kind of just had to divide it down the middle, really.
Yeah.
I'm in London this week for a week of what we call underplay shows at the 100 Club with Paolo Nutini, and
excellent.
So that's going to be absolutely mental. And we just did our first show with him on Saturday night in the Lead Mill, actually, in Sheffield. So that was absolutely binding. So I've got a week of Paolo, had a week of rehearsals last week with him, and then I'm back to the kids' choir, the Young Voices thing.
Okay,
great. The last bit of May, and finish that one off. Got more days in London with that, and a couple of days in Manchester Arena as well. So just non-stop.
Busy.
Up and down the railway line to Sheffield and back every weekend at the moment. And,
okay.
Yeah. But it's good. It's nice to be busy with people that you love, isn't it? So
yeah, absolutely. God, yeah.
That's my blessing. And then next month onwards, it sends back to just Paolo. But I keep getting phone calls. Oh, can you cover my backside for this gig? I can't do because I'm trying to do 3 bands. Loads of people just casting nets out all the time. But can you help me out? Can you help me out? Can you help me out? And I've alluded to it before, but it is utter insanity in the live music world at the moment. It's like, I really don't know how Joe and Jane Public are going to find the money to go and see all the gigs that are happening. I just don't know. I'll be delighted if it happens, but it's how I couldn't.
Well, a lot of them. I mean, I know for a fact with me, it's a lot of the stuff that I'm got to go and it sounds awful to say I've got to go and see, but it's all they're all rearranged gigs from some of them from 3 years ago.
For a long time.
Say again, sorry.
Have you held on to the tickets for a long time?
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, they were arranged. Some of these I booked 2019, and they were cancelled obviously because of lockdown, and then they were rearranged, then cancelled again, then rearranged, then cancelled again, and now they're finally happening. And it's great, except for the fact that they're all kind of coming together. And as much as I want to go and see all these gigs, the reality is obviously now I have no choice of dates. They just happen when they happen, and so
you can't make them all. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, some of them I haven't been able to make at all, but some I just, and you're kind of thinking this is like the worst time for a gig for me to drive into London. Because for me to get to London to see a gig and come back again, it's basically half a day gone, and I just don't have those half a days. But then you're kind of thinking, some of these are 200-300 quid tickets, and you're there going, well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got to go, really. So
absolutely,
yeah, it's.
And you're touching on a very interesting subject, though, which is so. There's been all these sold out shows that people have been holding tickets for, and they're all still sold out because people are being supportive of the artist and stuff by going, "I still want to go," and then they're finding themselves in a position where they can't spare the time to do it, and so you're getting sold out shows where only 80% and 70% of the audience are turning up to the show. All tickets are sold, but the venues are totally dependent on that last 20 or 30% for any profit they might make on the bar or on concessions or on
Well,
T-shirts.
I'm not going to name the artist because it'd be wrong to do it. But
go
I've no, I can't. I have a friend who's an artist, and they did a couple of gigs about 2 months ago, and completely sold out, 100% sold out, and their kind of estimate is basically 50% full, 40 to 50% full on sold out gigs.
That's pretty low.
Because it was literally the fact it was still that stage of people not whether they could go, wanted to go, whatever, but completely sold out both gigs, and both gigs 40 to 50%.
So at the end of the day, it's the venues who suffer the hardest.
Yeah, of course.
Because the promoter has made percentage, the artist has made their fee, the show's paid for, the production's paid for, so all the vendors are making their money. But the venues rely on those last few percentage of people in a sold out venue to make their profit over the bar, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very sad because they're having to honour the ticket sales, of course, but then they're not getting the walk up. And it's a really strange situation and a totally understandable situation. I don't think anybody's complaining too hard, but they're just looking at some financial, quite difficult situations to be in because there's nothing you can do about it. The tickets are sold. Whether people choose to come or not is entirely up to them.
I mean, I have to say, it's still because I've still got the NHS app thing on my phone.
Yeah, me too.
And when I went to the Goldfrapp gig a few weeks ago, honestly, fucking hell, it's pinging for days afterwards. You've been in close contact with someone with COVID. You've been in close contact with someone with COVID. I'm like, this one fucking gig. It's the first gig I've been to in forever. And honestly, it was just like pinging left, right, and centre.
I caught COVID 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
From work.
How are you feeling, Grace?
Yeah, really all gone apart from getting really tired in the middle of the afternoon.
Okay.
And maybe that's just being not 35
Old.
anymore.
Yes.
Even though my brain thinks I'm 35, my body is starting to disagree. But I don't know. I never used to feel like that. I was never a cat napper, and suddenly I'm like, post-COVID, I'm definitely just like at 3, 4 o'clock. Not the right time because that's soundcheck o'clock, isn't it? But it's that's slightly challenging. But hey. If that's the worst, then I'm not going to complain too much.
No, absolutely not. No, God. No.
It's just different. It was just a change that I've noticed in myself. And there's Steve saying that it might wear off. But not if I carry on working like this, it won't. Well, that's the other thing with my work. It's like early starts and late finishes. You know, on the Young Voices stuff, we're loading in at 7 a.m. and we're done about midnight. And I'm doing 5 hours of mixing in that period. And
crew life.
It's a long day, and doing the Palo stuff slightly more civilized, but it's still full on. It's still quite an early start and late finish.
Yeah.
Steady work. That's what I do. I've been doing it for a long time. So. Yeah. It's a bit mad going back to it after 2 years, kind of away from the fray, and like that gig on Saturday night, the Lead Mill was insanely good. It was very intense. The crowd were spectacular. Lots and lots of people rammed into a small space, and definitely would have been COVID. I don't know, interesting, probably, but the volume. Fuck, I've forgotten how loud I mix monitors sometimes. It's like, oh my god, that's loud.
Well, I came back to it forgetting how I wrote fucking music, so I understand that feeling of forgetting all too well. Yeah,
it's good to relearn once in a while.
Yeah, it is, as long as you've got the time to. You're absolutely right, Rich. But the problem is that you kind of have to kind of jump in running, and
it's hitting the ground running.
I just presumed, I'll be able to just jump straight back into it. Yeah, I kind of forgot that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right, Rich.
So last summer we did a two-week jaunts through the UK in general, second half of August and second half of September last year. And I was shocked at how well populated these outdoor gigs were with people elbow to elbow, none of them masked, 20 and 30,000 at a time. I don't know what percentage of the total venue that represented, but it looked packed from where I stood. It wasn't just packed to, the first 50 meters and then it was, petering. No, 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 no. As far as you could see, there were like people elbow to elbow. And at the time, I thought I wouldn't do that, but I'm glad you guys are doing it. It
Yeah.
gives me a gig, but I wouldn't do that.
Well, I remember I saw you last summer at that festival, and that was absolutely.
No, that was years ago. That was 19.
Was it?
Did I see you last summer?
No, I came to the gig, but you couldn't hang around. You said you couldn't hang around. It's probably because you just didn't want to fucking see me. I wouldn't blame you if that were the case. But no, I did come and see you, but you
right.
got us really nice,
Thank you.
We
thing.
have to go to the postmortem after the gig, honest, yeah.
Pardon?
Have to go to the postmortem after the gig.
Yeah.
Well, we're always straight onto the bus and off to the next place after the gig.
I worked on Reading Festival last summer, and I ran monitors on one of the smaller stages. But it was great. I mixed 30 odd bands in 3 days. It was brilliant, but it was hectic. But honestly, if you teleported into that environment from 2019, you would never have believed that there was the tail end of a world pandemic going on, that COVID was real. There was the behaviour of bands, hangers-on, crews, and punters in general was as if COVID was not a thing. Right, and Reading had a bit of a notorious reputation for it that summer anyway, but it was utterly like, let's just forget about it for the weekend, hang the consequences. And then a few of us were still being quite careful, and we were trying to socially distance. We were cleaning all the equipment, like microphones and stuff, was getting UVC baths, and it was like we were doing everything we could with protocol, and it seemed utterly pointless, to be honest. But you know what? I never caught COVID. I didn't catch it then. I caught it from the screaming children like 3 weeks ago. So, yeah.
So the guy in our band who was the most cautious, who has young children and has to work constantly, he's got the production job with Nile that I used to have, got it at the end of September last year while we were over there. But he was the one he wore a mask everywhere. I mean, this guy was masked all the time, if he wasn't singing. And you can't always...
I've got a friend exactly the same who all through COVID was, beyond cautious. Ridiculously cautious, even to the extent when it's kind of freed up slightly, he wasn't having any of it. He was still completely holed up. And the moment, literally within like a couple of days of him leaving the house, he got it. And
wow.
It's unfortunate, but who the knows? Look, when it comes to COVID, let's be honest, who has a clue what the fuck's going on? I heard, was it last week that Kent, you were saying that the numbers were down or something like that? The reason the numbers are down is so fucking simple. Is the fact that you don't have free tests anymore.
Reporting.
People are not going to buy tests unless they absolutely have to. So the tests that were free, that people were testing all the time, they're not. They have to pay for it now. And so that's why numbers are down. I think what I find hilarious that when Trump fucking said this, however many years ago at the beginning of it, and everybody leapt on him quite rightly, saying, well, if you don't test, of course the numbers are going to be down. Of course that makes sense. And everyone went, that's totally logical. Trump, you're an absolute twat, which obviously he is. But now that we're doing it, we're going, oh yeah, the numbers are down. That's great, isn't it? No, it's because we're not fucking testing. So of course the numbers are fucking down.
The important numbers that we do know are some version of the ratio of people who get infected to the people who end up in hospital.
Yeah, absolutely.
Subsequently may pass away. So what seems to be even just casually observable is that a smaller percentage of the people who become infected ended up in hospital these days, and still smaller percentage of those who end up in hospital don't come home from the hospital.
Yeah.
So that part of it is good. And I think that's something I'm taking some comfort in, because if I get sick, I'm screwed. I'm about to leave for 3 months on the road. I can't get sick in the middle of this. I need to keep playing. I need to keep doing shows. So I have to be crazy. But at the same time, when I'm in my tribe and we all appear to be healthy and we've all kind of kept to the tribe, which is the 20 or so people who tour with us, our crew and our band and that sort of thing, management, then people, you have to relax at certain points. You know, when we're all together on the tour bus, I doubt very seriously I'm going to be wearing a mask 24/7. And I hate sleeping with masks on, so that I'm not doing.
But it still means that if I see you this summer, you're not going to see me again, you bastard.
It may not. It may not. For example, somebody just hit me up who's going to visit me in Marbella. I know it sounds horrible. As it happens, we're arriving like 2 days early, and we've got a day off, and he's going to take me to some like incredible like antiquity in the south of Spain that I've never seen or heard of before. And you know, like, so there is the possibility of social interaction.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. So you've got a guy who's going to take you to go and see some antiquity in Marbella, but you're not going to see me in a field in fucking Bognor or wherever you're going to be. I'm sensing favoritism here, Rich, and I'm not liking this. This isn't sitting well. That you're quite happy to go and see an antiquity with a friend in Marbella, but not me. Oh, is he frozen? It's either that or he's just. Yes.
Oh,
Magic freeze button.
Oh yeah. I tell you what I'm going to do, guys. Would you mind if I tried a different microphone and see what difference it made?
Go on.
sure.
Would that be all right?
Yeah,
Let me
of course
just
it will.
see. Okay, so this is this one. Is this one all right? I mean, it seems. Is it working okay? Is it?
Yeah.
Seems all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't see
Not
anything.
scratching on your stubble.
I'm going to disappear.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear.
Oh, it's just gone.
Richard's dropped
That'll be a
out.
flat battery in the garden.
Oh, and no, Ty's still there, but he's just not connected his camera.
Richard's battery's gone in the garden.
Could be.
Or he was really offended.
I was just looking at Richard. I was just looking at Richard's dates, and I thought, oh, he's coming.
Dirty man.
He's coming. Yeah, I was looking at his dates. I was fumbling his
I'm so
stones.
excited I'm going to meet him, because I will get to meet him at the Glasgow show.
Well, I was looking. He's coming to Cambridge on June the 11th, which happens to be my mother's birthday, and we're all going out for like a meal or something. But the day before he's at Aintree, and then 2 days after he's in France. So there's gonna be no time to.
They work really hard, that band.
Yeah.
They go
So I'm
for-
thinking.
Surely your mum would like to see Chic.
I don't think.
Well,
that's
just
her
don't
thing.
tell her and drag her there.
Yeah.
So it's a good time.
But he is playing BST in the park, isn't he?
Yeah.
See, this is why you need to be an agoraphobic. Richard comes to my house.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, what wonderful delights!
You gotta know how to do it, you know?
Around Cambridge. I mean, yeah. Here's the university; it owns everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they've all gone. Yeah. So I was just
Oh, well.
trying to think when we could, because I mean, he's doing a lot of dates, but they're all like Bristol, Glasgow, Doncaster, Halifax. For fuck's sake!
It's quite random, isn't it?
Yeah, the Peace Hall in Halifax.
What, the place, not the aircraft?
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2
Oh, he's back.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. How's that?
Yeah.
1 2
That's
1
the
2
same.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Is it the
Clearer.
same or
Yeah, much the
Clearer,
same.
louder. Clearer and louder.
Slightly lower,
clearer and
yeah.
louder? Oh,
Yeah.
hang on a minute. Well, that's
Eight.
handy if it is. To be fair, because that one is just the. This one is just the standard stereo one, which is kind of it's made for to sit with regularly. The other one was
Richard said he's right in the middle of a.
was this thing. And
Yes.
so, of a royal bike.
Uh-oh.
Dan.
Fantastic.
I have to get him back in so you can finish it up.
But anyway, yeah, good. Oh, okay. Well, if this one works okay, this one sounds okay. This is a handy one to have.
Still, mine
Good.
sounds terrible. I'm stuck on my old laptop, and I have no bells and whistles here at all.
Yours sounds exactly like my sound for many, many years on Sonic State when I really just could not be asked. And my internet connection was hilarious.
God, I remember that. That was bad.
Oh my God. This is when I was getting, I think it was like 1.5.
We all thought you were
upload.
quite good looking back then, and then we got the clarity of fiber. And well, he really is an ugly bastard, isn't he?
Yeah.
All that
It's true.
pixelation, yeah.
Yeah. It served me well. Yeah.
What you got to do is sellotape some baking paper onto the screen or something. Wrinkle it up a bit.
Put some what they used to do in the movies. Put some gel on the screen.
And have underneath
Vaseline,
an actor's voice. You know.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Why am I wearing these fucking headphones? They're teenage engineering headphones.
Oh God, how much did they cost?
£9,000.
They were absolute. They were just. I tell you why I got them. I got them because years ago they were really expensive. Teenage engineering, and somewhere basically just got fed up because they didn't sell any, so they flogged them off for like, I don't know, 30 quid or something for a pair. And I bought them, and they're okay. They're fine. They just look ridiculous, but the problem is they just don't stay in your ears. That's the main problem with them. They just don't stay in your ears. But anyway, I'm not going to stay anyway. I did pop in.
Your
I have got to
5
go back
minutes,
to work.
yeah.
I know.
Allegedly.
This is Kent's fault.
Oh yeah, it's always my fault.
Yeah, I've got to
Have
get
they
through this
got,
film.
Ty, before you go, have they got removable rubber grommet things on the end of those earphones? Because I've got a ton of different sized ones of those.
Oh no, I've got all the different sizes.
Yeah.
They just don't. I've tried all of them: the small ones, the big ones, the medium ones.
Okay. Cool.
You know, normally you find a pair that sit well.
It's not sticking
They
to
just
your ears.
Yeah, whatever it is, whatever material they're using, it's from some probably smart fucking Swedish rubber, but wherever the Swedish rubber they're using it doesn't like my ears. Yeah, we will not stay in you. Yeah. So, can I just say before I go? Can I just shout out Eurovision Song Contest from last night?
It was brilliant.
Fucking, look, I've said this all along about Eurovision. I love Eurovision, but the standards last night was just incredible. There were so many songs that were, there were a few shit ones, but there were so many songs that were really good, really good songs.
What did you think were the shit ones?
Oh, I can't remember. I wrote them all down.
Germany was awful. I thought the Italian one was
Germany was
good,
bad.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? Well, the thing is, I've actually heard the proper version of the Italian one. It's actually a nice song. But when they were turning around and what a wonderful performance, no, fucking dreadful performance of a really nice song.
Are you tempted to give the wolf a banana?
Am I fuck? That was, I'm like with novelty anyway. I don't do humor. Music is not for humor. There's nothing funny about music. Fuck off. And
well, what about, was it Serbia in the washing of the hands?
I liked that.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was cool.
It was
also,
we voted for that one.
Which was the one? Which was the one that was the 1974 disco?
Oh yeah.
Which country was that? It was another one of the Eastern. Was it Slovenia? No, not Slovenia. Was it Lithuania?
Could have been Lithuania.
Anyway, it was one of those.
Did you see the guy with the modular?
Yeah.
Whole bank of euro. I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent miming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
I didn't hear any modular in it.
Oh no, the best ones are look for them playing guitar.
Well, yeah, because our lad was playing guitar, wasn't he?
Oh, I tell you, it was funny. Was the French one, which was fucking awful. The French one, there was no guitar in the entire track, and he kept playing this fucking guitar. And at the exact moment I turned around and went, "Yeah, where's the guitar?" At which point there was a guitar riff. At the exact moment, it's the first time in the entire track there would have been any guitar. But
Grace just there and pushed the volume up on it. There you go. Then when him playing it for the rest of the time.
Yeah. Hi, Rich. Where were we?
I'm sorry my laptop died, but I was right in the middle of getting a good bollocking from you about something before somewhere along the line.
Oh, I love the fact that you came on just so I could carry on. No, it's fine. We'll let it
Deprive you.
go, Rich.
Never deprive you of this.
we will let it go.
Leaving.
I love you dearly, and so
Back at you, bro.
anyway, look, I am going to go. We've talked about Eurovision. I'm happy, and I now need to go back to
Were
work.
you happy with the result, though?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, obviously, we all know that Ukraine, on a musical level, shouldn't have won, and everyone knows that, and everyone appreciates that. But I think that the fact that they did win, even if it was just because of the situation, I think I could go with that. I can absolutely go with that. I think As was the best song. Absolutely, As was the best song. I think everyone knows it was the best song, and I think his vocal abilities are fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely unbelievable. And he's got the kind of, I mean, I love high falsetto male voices anyway. They're my thing. They're what I get off on. So for me, he's just a dream come true. Didn't like his dress sense, but hey, we can't be perfect. But no, and I think the main thing was, I mean, as someone jokingly said, a friend on Facebook jokingly said, but it's very true, that, you know, at the end of the day, people hate us in Eurovision anyway. And to be fair, quite justifiably. people hate us. Can you imagine how much they'd hate us if we beat the Ukraine as well? So they'd really fucking hate us then. So I think the fact that they won, fine. The fact that we came second, totally justified. I would love to see a situation where Ukraine are in a position where they can hold it next year. But you know, you've kind of got to be, you've got to be realistic about this. Yeah. And everybody always says the millions it costs to host Eurovision. I mean, millions. I'm going to go with the outside bet that, you know, kind of, you have to start preparing for next year's Eurovision now. Yeah. That's basically the bottom line. So the moment you find out who's won, they then take 12 months to prepare for next year's Eurovision. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that right at this moment, it's not a priority in their list of things to get sorted. And so I think
busy at the moment, aren't they?
I think they've got other things to worry about, and I think that the chance of them hosting it's either slim and zero, or it will be a completely dumbed down small event, which I don't think that's a bad thing. I have to say, I think it's now got so huge. I think having a smaller, more intimate thing wouldn't be a bad thing. I think the reality is that they won't be able to do it, and someone else will get to do it. And the chances are it could well be us because we came second. Who knows? But
I think the funny part yesterday was when Australia gave the UK no points whatsoever. And I flicked a piece of macaroni cheese at Fiona. Can I say what Philippa said? I'm not saying this is not politically correct by any stretch, but she turned and went, "What? Don't we own them?" So I don't.
I think I shouted "ungrateful colonials" or something.
So.
But let's address the elephant in the room. What the fuck are Australia doing in it anyway?
Oh,
I mean, I know they're big fans and everything.
No one understands that. No one understands that.
Eurovision.
Yeah, no, I know. No one understands that.
If you want to call it World Vision, let's have everybody in there.
What about when Spain didn't give their 12 points to Portugal?
I know. Actually, there was a lot less.
There was a lot less political shit going on.
Yeah. Cyprus, Greece.
The Cyprus, Greece. Oh, that's just hilarious.
I didn't realise until last night when Graham Norton said the names of the UK jury, that the chairman of the UK jury is going to be on our show in a few weeks' time. Elliot Kennedy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
we
didn't get him for Eurovision. We got him for the fact that he's a multi-award-winning hit single song, or hit song.
That makes more sense from Eurovision.
But
I think the most shocking thing was France gave us 12 points. France. I mean, France wouldn't fucking spit on us.
No.
I mean, but they gave us 12 points. So anyway, so so very happy with the result, really. Although, I mean, let's be honest, the Ukraine song was, I started singing Gangster's Paradise along with it. I don't know if anyone else did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was what it was. But
There was another one where I started singing Skyfall.
Oh yeah, who was
Wasn't
it? The
it?
one that wanted the James Bond theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. Lithuania, I like, and not Lithuania, Azerbaijan. I really liked that. There were loads that I liked.
Moldova was a good giggle.
So the CD's been ordered. So
Mannequin put on a good show, I thought, as well, or Maneskin, whatever their name is.
Considering he couldn't move,
yeah, exactly. His leg was all fucked up, wasn't it? And
he'd done it on
and
a
I
video
thought
shoot.
Mika was quite good. Not at presenting; he was rubbish.
Oh
at
God!
presenting.
Oh, that
dreadful presenter.
script!
But-
Fucking hell!
Oh my God!
But-
Yeah.
There was a
Sticking on the stage.
4-year-old by the skips writing that out and handing it out as they're saying
in the
it.
band, he's very entertaining.
Yeah, he was very entertaining. Yeah. So I love the fact that Rich is being very, very patient, thinking, "What are you lot fucking on about?"
No, I've been reading about this, and I
Yeah.
consent. I knew there was something going on, and now you guys have explained it. So that
Well, all it basically is, it's a big song competition where everyone from
Well, I know
Europe and Australia, you know all of that. But what I'm saying is the fact that everybody hates the British, and we always do really badly. We are king of nil point, and we always come last or
No, we don't
almost last.
always. For the last
well,
20 years,
okay.
maybe.
Well, yeah, but it's
For the,
been-
look, okay, for the last 20 years.
when was
Yeah,
the last time we hosted it?
90...
97.
Yeah,
97.
Yeah, because we won it in 96. Yeah.
Yeah, because they just
So-
don't want to give us the opportunity of the presenter
BBC
saying at the
love it,
beginning,
they love
saying,
the money.
and now we go over to another country we used to own.
Yeah. No. But mainly a lot of it is the fact that I think it's also the fact that a lot of it we kind of go, oh, it's all political, but people are missing the point that quite often we do enter really shit songs. Bearing in mind that, we write some of the best pop songs out there. We just put in a lot of shit, basically. And whereas this year a song went in by a guy who it wasn't written for Eurovision. It was just kind of picked up on, and it's a great song, and he's an amazing performer, and it kind of proved a point that they don't like us, but it's the lack of song that is the real issue, not the fact of we're just a bunch of cunts. Anyway,
And on that note,
on that bombshell,
Ty will beat about the bush.
yeah,
everybody who likes musical competitions, raise your hand. Thank you.
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, look, I'm going to go back to work. Love and leave. Have a great one, and
Here's Ty.
I'll
Great seeing you,
see you all
bud.
soon. Be
Speak
good.
soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
See you later, bud.
And ladies and gents, I have to go start cooking this dinner. So I will be perhaps back later. I'm not sure. But in any case, wonderful to be with you.
And you, bud, as
See you.
always.
See you guys soon.
take care, buddy.
Take care, man.
You ladies soon.
Oh, and gone. There was a lot of background noise in that one, wasn't there?
That's
Sorry,
black
I'm just-
outside. Ah,
And, of course, it was the aircon in Richard's house.
Yeah.
But he has to have on, otherwise he's
you might be hearing the fan on my computer.
No. This
No,
is
no.
this is Richard's massive air conditioning system. Because
Oh,
otherwise, Honey melts. Basically, she likes to apparently go barefoot in the snow. So when it's warm, she's like in a right mess. So they have to have blasting cold air at her.
Oh, I must
Yeah.
remember not to type a message. Sorry, forget it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've done stuff like that where I've typed something into the chat to
I've typed it
answer
into
a
the
question.
show chat and it's come up under your name.
Yeah.
Because it's your show, of course.
Yeah, I've done it where I've used the wrong keyboard
Oh, right, yeah.
and I deleted something on the PC.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, dear.
oops. Oh dear. So yes, there you go.
You should get a KVM switch.
Hmm?
You can only go. You should get a KVM switch.
Do you know, I had one
And you can't go wrong, can you? You can only
Yeah,
control
it's
the
true.
that was 8 port, so you could have 8. You can control like 8 different computers from this one thing. I got it from work. They were just throwing stuff away. I said, "Oh, I love that. Oh, it's got little buttons on it and stuff." And I used it once. I thought, no, I can't. So I'd just rather mess things up. It was just such.
We're using a
pain in
lot
the
in our systems in
ass.
lifetime because you have redundant computers running the system, so there's always a tandem. So second one running, and you just switch across to it with the KVM. And desks. Some desks have redundant desks built into them. So you know things like Eurovision, for example, any live broadcast with a lot of audio going on will inevitably have redundancy built into them because you can't broadcast live to like 1 billion people and not have that in place.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, so the desks they use generally are kind of flash, but they the one that we used for years on all the MTV awards and the Brit Awards and stuff is the Zigico SD7, which is 2 desks in one desk, and the second one is constantly mirroring the first one. So any updates you make are automatically mirrored, and you just press the KVM switch to get across.
Yeah.
And it's built into the machine on that one. But
Will
yeah,
you be going to Gearfest? Great.
Gearfest.
It's this new event that Sound on Sound are doing at Tile Yard, and it's predominantly studio and hardware rather than like Synthfest, which is specifically synthesizers. But there are going to be synth people there, but there's it seems like there's going to be more studio hardware based type stuff. I didn't know whether it's 10 quid a ticket on July 2nd, I think it is.
Oh, I can't go if it's then, unfortunately.
Where are we?
I'm going to be in Montreux.
Nice. Yeah, Saturday, July 2nd. So, that was.
That's mine. No, unfortunately, I'm going to go to Switzerland for the weekend to Montreux Jazz Festival.
Nice. I've always wanted to go to that because
it's brilliant. I've never been to that. It's
never been to Montreux.
Okay.
I've driven past Montreux.
I've never been to.
It was very, very fast show of you, Robbie.
What's that?
You goes to the jazz festival and you go, nice.
I have to have a second camera so I can go.
Yeah,
nice.
It's amazing. It's an amazing event.
Well, the thing is, every time I watch clips from the Montreux Jazz Festival, it's yes, there's lots of jazz, but there's also lots of non-jazz.
It's way past
it's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, some of my favourite sort of live clips on YouTube always seem to be from Montreux. Prince, his stuff that he did there was pretty cool. Talk. They did one year, which was.
I've been there with. We did Neil Young there once, many years ago. We've been there repeatedly with Paolo. He's a favourite of them. Who else have I been there? I think we did a Robert Plant show there once.
Nice.
Someone else. I forget now. But it's a popular. It's a popular one. We once got asked up to a party. The guy who kind of created it and built it was a guy called Claude Nobbs.
Yeah.
What's your name? Who was like Mr. Atlantic Records in Switzerland, and then kind of became MJF instead. And he's gone now, unfortunately, but he had an archive of absolutely everything that happened there.
Wow.
They archived it all meticulously, and he had a whole building in his property, which was the archive, and there was video and stuff, all meticulously looked after, documented, and in those sliding things where you turn the hand, moves, all that going on,
cool.
And it was all there. Pretty much, I don't know if absolutely every performance, but
that's got to be an
very high percentage of all the performances that have ever happened there. I'm
Can
sure
you
they're
imagine?
continuing the archiving, even despite the pods there, and I'm sure that's still going on. It's the sort of thing they do. And,
why not?
filmed now.
Because the legend isn't it the legend that Deep Purple "Smoke on the Water" was written about them seeing Zappa setting the place on fire across the lake, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, they were at another studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no, it's a lovely little town. It's very, very much how the other half live. But
That's Switzerland, isn't it? Yeah.
very expensive place to be.
I drove through Switzerland a few years ago, and they charged a road tax for anybody just because you're going to drive on the roads. They would charge you stick a sticker in your window, and it lasts for 30 days. And I said, but I'm only driving through. I'll be like 2 hours. And I'll be in Italy. You'd be like, no, but you still have to pay the tax.
Yeah.
Okay, how much is the tax? It's a lot of money. Oh, damn right it is.
Oh, Brian Ferry, that was the other person. Wasn't it?
Oh, Brian Ferry. Just toss that one out.
We had a guided tour of CERN. We had a day off in Geneva.
Wow.
And they got in touch and asked us if we wanted to go and have a look around CERN. And they do quite a lot of reaching out to music because they like to kind of temper their science with a bit of art somehow.
Yes.
We got taken around CERN. Amazing, really interesting.
I bet, yeah.
So a geek like me, it was absolutely incredible because I did physics as my degree, and
Cool.
it was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. Yeah, but the thing wasn't the collider wasn't running at the time. They had more time to spare to talk to people, so we met quite a few interesting characters who did a lot of the work on the Higgs boson and things like that. It's like stories of how exciting it was. Yeah, interesting place. A really good example of international cooperation.
Yeah.
Why it is where it is, because it's not in any one country. It's in 2 countries.
So yeah, it's quite big, isn't it?
It's France. Hello, Andy.
Bonjour.
Mr. Mute.
There he is.
I'm sure you can hear me. I'm at a family thing. I
Hi.
thought real quick. You hear me okay?
Yeah.
Does it sound like crap?
Not really.
Not bad at all, really.
Okay, good. Okay. It's a little choppy on my side, so I wasn't sure if I was going out choppy.
That seems okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What's new?
Oh,
What is it?
really.
Not really. Not really.
Not really.
We had Californian weather yesterday.
We did, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
was
cool.
beautiful.
And then today it was just like
It was
It was like
bullocks.
Indic summer. I remember.
I spent
Yeah.
most of the day on bloody PlayStation today. And I feel really knackered. I've done so little today.
What, running round Nuremberg?
Actually, I didn't play GT. I finished off Call of Duty Vanguard again. So I just wanted to try the PS5 version and compare it to the PS4 version, but there wasn't really much in it. But I had to reinstall the VR because you need this adapter for the camera, because the PlayStation 4 camera has a special plug, and so you need to convert that. So you had to order it. Sony give it to you for free, but I had to then just like unplug everything from the PS4 and plug it into the PS5 and do all the tidy things up a bit. And then I thought, oh, well, I might as well play it for a little bit while I'm here. So I did that, and then I played a few games on FIFA, and now I feel like I've played a few games of football, but I haven't, and it's really bad.
I went to my favorite store I showed you guys on tour before. I got an Erebus V2 for cheap.
Oh, what? Sorry,
Erebus V2 for cheap.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
How cheap
400.
is that? I don't know. Is that cheap? I don't know. What do they normally go for?
Considering I have to build it and stuff, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I picked this classic up yesterday. Hang on, where is it? Classic piece of electronic music on mute. Get rid of the glare. Thomas Lear and Robert Rental.
Yeah.
First time on vinyl in 40 years, apparently. Seminal electronic album. from 1979. I do like a bit of Thomas Lear.
Not familiar.
And I got the new album by
It must have
that band. That's their name.
Oh, okay.
3 exclamation marks.
Yeah, it's difficult to pronounce, I suppose.
Chick, chick, chick. Apparently is how you pronounce that.
Oh.
And then I turned up a little Sleaford Mods EP. Which was rather good, which I wasn't aware of. So.
Do you ever get to play them much at all?
Yeah, I got a turntable just here.
Ah, I see. Yes, it's
So,
different.
as this is my office, that's my music. Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to just buying them and then just catalogue them and.
I buy music to listen to, then I catalogue it.
And then never play again.
Well, no, actually, I'm not. I've still kept those Prince things that I said the other day that have gone up in value incredibly over the last week or so.
Yeah.
They're still sealed. I'm loath to open because they've only got one track on it. It's on the 7-inch. There's one track,
Right.
and then the other side is etched. And on the cassette, it's the same track that's on the 7-inch.
Oh.
And I just bought them because I'm a huge Prince fan, and they were limited and collectible. So I thought, yeah, and they were fairly cheap. Yeah, but I thought I'll leave those ones sealed because there's no point in opening it if I've got the digital track. So yeah, especially if they're worth a couple of £100 now. So
Oh, bloody hell.
well, the last time I looked, it might have gone up since. Where are we?
You never know.
Well, I looked at my Discogs catalogue
Yeah.
of everything that I've got, and it gives you 3 prices for each item based on the prices that have been paid through Discogs. So they don't go and do a huge amount of extensive research. They basically say, well, if let's take an item for example, what's the lowest price it sold for, what's the highest price it sold for, and therefore what's the median.
Yeah.
And it's quite scary when you look at how much my modest collection is now worth. Let's just say that if the pension fund doesn't get fully topped up, if I was to sell a few of these things, I probably wouldn't be too badly off. But I don't sell. Selling's a dirty word.
So Gearfest then. Who's
Gearfest.
You're going to be.
I'm going to be. Yeah. So what do you need?
Well, what sort of exhibitors is it going to be? Like studio manufacturers?
I will tell you who has signed up. Let me pull up my list here. So far, Ableton, Sontronics, Audient, Solid State Logic, Novation, Focusrite, Steinberg, Sound on Sound, obviously, Akai Professional, Adam Audio, Focal, Sonox, Bitwig, Bukes, Imperative Audio, Apogee, Nord. I can't read that one without my glasses. What does that say? Hang on, sorry, Zoom. Austrian Audio, RME, Ferrofish, Lawton Audio, Neve, Korg, Spitfire, and Dolby at the moment.
And is it the sort of thing where they're all going to have something new to show us?
Yeah, I guess. Or it's kind of because it's all done in like studio environments. Then I guess they're going to have rooms set aside where you can go in and test things. And there's going to be a big Dolby Atmos thing going on.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm quite interested in. But yeah, it's more about hardware that's not. There are going to be synthesizers apparently there, but it's more about hardware, studio hardware, that kind of thing, rather than Synthfest, which obviously happens in their neck of the woods in October. But, which I'm very much looking forward to again. Although I've just realised or found out that my Airbnb, I had this Airbnb that I used to use. It was literally 2 minutes walk from the Octagon, and I wouldn't say it's not brand new. It was they redid this building, and all of these little Airbnb apartments. And so I went, as soon as I got the dates for this year, I went straight onto Airbnb to book it. And they're not doing it as like an Airbnb anymore. They're doing it as like long-term rentals and stuff. Not 1 or 2 nights. So, because it was perfect. It was just like, it was 2 minutes from the Octagon, 2 minutes from the Co-op, and there's a pub between the Co-op and the thing. It was just brilliant. It's a brilliant little golden triangle. And it had private, secure parking and everything.
There'll be other ones around there, I'm sure.
There will, but the thing is, it's October, isn't it? It's when all the new people, is it the Freshers?
Freshers Week.
Yeah.
Can't be Freshers Week. I'm doing that at the same time.
I don't know.
That's madness.
It's October 8th. But I did have trouble getting in. Yeah. I did have trouble getting in. So, yeah, I've got to look for a new place to stay. And I'm lazy, so I want to stay as close as possible. Well, this time I won't be taking a fare.
Not in town, otherwise I would be offering a spare room. But I'm going to be in a more exotic place altogether, somewhere in Europe. So,
very nice.
Not in Sheffield.
I do love the trip up to Sheffield. I love that city. It's a lovely, lovely place.
It's brilliant. I was talking to someone today about Sheffield, and I've said it to lots of people. If you have to live in a city, it's a great one to live in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of greenery there. There's a lot of interesting things going on. It's very friendly, and can't really ask for much more than that. And it's affordable.
Hey, Robbie, have you ever been to Nam?
No, I've gotten close a couple of times. And when I started working for the company I work for now 10 years ago, at the interview, my boss then was the Muff Wiggler, the guy who started the Muff Wiggler forums, and
oh yeah, sure,
Mike McGrath, and he was my boss. My interview for my company was an hour and 3/4 talking about synthesizers and 15 minutes about the job, and I got the job. So that was quite cool. But he said, oh, yeah, our head office is in Irvine. And I thought, brilliant. So I can organize a trip to Irvine around NAMM weekend and combine the two and do it all on a work kind of, on the works ticket. And I went to Irvine, I think for the first, I didn't go until like the summer of 2013. And then we promptly sold the office and moved everything into Austin, Texas. So we don't have any sort of presence in California anymore. So I thought I could combine the two, but no, it was not to be. But Ben and I were talking a little while back about, we could go to one of these shows, and which one would we go to? And I said, well, NAMM's got to be top of the list. Berlin is lovely.
NAMM, yeah, that'd be
another
scale altogether, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's all depending on next year's bank balance, for ProSynth Network. We are hoping to do one.
It's hard to get into unless you're an industry person. It took me years to be able to go.
So well, they keep offering me tickets. I don't know why. I think I signed up, and I don't know whether it's my sound on sound thing. I don't know, but I can get into them, no problem. I can get tickets.
I do now. I'm grandfathered in since I went 2020 again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before that, it was a nightmare getting tickets. So I went once in 2009 and met Don Buchla and Tom Oberheim and all that stuff. It was really
nice.
I used to go.
But then I hadn't gone. Oh, good.
You say, Grace?
I'm sorry. I used to go to a show called Plaza, which you might have heard of, which is the equivalent of NAMM for live sound and lighting and anything to do with that stuff, sort of production stuff. And there's another one called Frankfurt Music Messe, which
Yeah.
is where all the live manufacturers distribute their consoles and new moving lights.
Yeah,
and all that
Messer's gone now, though, really, isn't it?
I kind of got bored of the trade show thing, to be honest.
There used to be loads of really good ones in London, like Olympia 2.
Yeah, they were in Olympia.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went a few years. I remember when I went one year when they launched the not Prophecy, the Z1. That was the year they launched the Z1, and the demo was just like, I remember that. And I went one year with Alesis, and that was with Steve Howell. And we ended up just walking around. Steve like knew everybody in the business, and was just like stopping every 5 minutes saying hello, and was just meeting all these really cool people. Remember meeting Ian Boddy there. He was demonstrating some new library that he'd done for East West or something. And then of course I've subsequently got to know Ian, and he's a really, really lovely guy. Always goes to Synthfest with his Ondes. What do they call it? Martin, that's it. Yeah, and the thing is, is that the thing with his? It sounds awful. He puts his finger in a ring and moves it up and down, but he does it so well.
Do you use your ring finger?
Yes.
The first library I ever bought was an Ian Bodie one.
Yeah.
Which I haven't been able to use for donkey's years now because I don't know. I think it was VST1 probably.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work on anything anymore. Yeah.
Some really good stuff.
Yeah, it was quite an eye opener for me. Getting these lovely sounds coming out of the computer going.
So yeah, hopefully next year we'll do one, whether it be NAMM, whether it be Super Booth. I'm thinking we'd love to do NAMM, but it's probably going to be Super Booth because of the budget. But we'll see. We'll see. And get the time off work. That's the other thing, is because we both have jobs. So trying to coordinate time off.
Yeah, not easy.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
No. But looking at what came out at Super Booth this year, I know there's not a lot of stuff coming out because of chip shortages and all this kind of stuff. But the only thing that would have really got me moist about the gusset, as they say, is the Oberheim. Everything else just kind of, it was either Eurorack, which I'm not really, it's not my thing, or it was reissues in different colors, or stupidly expensive Swedish aluminium things. And I would have been quite upset had I spent all that money and just, although, to be fair, to have actually got to see a brand new Oberheim and speak to Marcus and Dave Smith would have been cool. But sort of glad I decided not to do this one. So
Yeah.
stick to the ones on my own shore at the moment. Synthfest is always a good laugh.
Yeah.
Still don't know what I'm doing though. I'm booked, but I have no idea what I'm doing. Because the last time it was the Fairlight.
Yeah.
And that was fun and games. Oh, and of course there's Synthesized in Cambridge, which will be quite fun.
All these events going on when I'm not here. There's probably
Sod's Law. Sod's Law, Grace, I tell you.
I've been so spoiled being in one place for 2 years. I do not know what's happened to me. It's well, I do, but that's another story. But yeah, it's been really unusual for me to actually be able to have a planned life and planned diary and making arrangements to see people weeks and months ahead and keeping them, because normally my work is just so chaotic that, and it can change at short notice, my work.
Yeah.
Drastically. And I'm back in there, as you know.
Yeah.
Good time. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go to bed because I've got work in the morning. And,
yes.
Very nice to see everybody.
Hi, bud.
You too.
Yeah. Happy synthing.
Indeed.
I'll keep an eye out. If I can join in later in the week, I will.
Yeah. Have fun.
Busy. Right.
Bye bye. Take care.
Take care, Grace. Look up yourself.
Catch you later. Bye.
Yep. So, I don't know
Oh,
what's.
Howard's coming over tomorrow with the power supply.
Ooh, dun 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 dun. No, no, no.
You'll either have a very happy or a very unhappy Rob to deal with tomorrow night, depending on the outcome.
We're either going to get FM tones or a screaming banshee.
Yeah. And I'll be the screaming banshee. Yeah. No, he's
Are you still figuring out the power supply thing?
No, it's all done. It's all done. We've just got to fit it and hope that it fixes the issue. We think it will because we've pretty much isolated everything else.
That's cool.
Yeah. Steve Powell just said something. What's the Cambridge do? So Cambridge. So in Cambridge, in the UK, not Massachusetts, there is a museum called the Centre for Computing History. It's run by a brilliant guy called Jason, and it's kind of like an industrial unit in the arse end of Cambridge, the other side of a shitty little railway line. But inside is like one of almost every computer ever made. That's bollocks, obviously, but it feels like that because it's like they've got big, massive, those things that you used to see in 1970s movies with the discs on them, like this, yeah, all of that stuff, and they've got even mechanical things, and then everything through the 70s and the 80s and beyond. And every year up until 2019, which was the last one, for the last, I don't know how many years now they've done it, they've had this event called Synthesized. And it's a 2-day weekender, so Saturday and Sunday. And basically there's a room where a bunch of people bring their gear, and it just, people can come along and play with it, or, just listen to it and talk about it. You can talk to it if you like. You won't get a bloody answer.
No, won't say much.
No, and then in one of the main museum areas, there's a whole bunch of other keyboards that Jason brings in because he's a bit of a synth nut. So he brings a whole bunch of stuff and sets it up, and you can just plug your headphones in and have a noodle on a variety of different synthesizers. And then there's occasionally a performance on the Saturday evening. I don't know if there's going to be one this year, but it's really casual, really laid back, and lots of geeky, things happen. Lots of, just people messing around with synthesizers, basically. It's not a trade show. It's just an event, a gathering, shall we say. But there is a kind of focus on computer-based music making, hence why I have taken on for a few years up until the pandemic. I've taken a Fairlight, whichever one I might have, sitting in the garage. This year looks like, unless we sell it in the next couple of months, which I don't think is going to happen, it'll be the first time I've taken a full Series 3. I've taken a Series 3 rack mount, but I didn't have the keyboard.
Yeah.
Or I've taken a Series 2, which had the keyboard, but the Series 2 didn't have any voice cards in it or something silly. So this year I'm going to have the one that I took to Bradford last year, which is going to be a full-on, fully maxed out Series 3.
Nice.
With the keyboard, with the monitors, with the mainframe. But I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have one to take this year, because I thought, I might do a whole thing about Yamaha and the whole X series. So take, a couple of the DXs and the QXs and the RXs and the CX5 computer as the kind of central thing. I can't do both because I don't have. I'd have to hire a van, and I don't get paid to do this. It's completely voluntary, so I would be significantly out of pocket. So yeah, I was really wanting to do a Yamaha thing, because that whole X series fascinates me. Obviously, it fascinates me. Not just the equipment, but the whole design of everything. It was all of these bits of gear that all looked like they fitted together, and they did all fit together. And it was the first kind of big MIDI-based family of products.
Yeah.
And they all shared the same colors, and they all shared the same fonts and the same layouts or similar layouts. And it just fascinates me. So I thought, yeah, I might do that. But I think the Fairlight's the bigger draw.
Yeah. Both from an audience point of view and a power point of view.
Yes, quite. Absolutely. But and it'll be an opportunity for me to see how my new car can handle taking a Fairlight, which I'm sure it can do with the Plum. Hence why I wanted a car with a big arse. So, so yeah, I'll probably take that up, and it actually give me a good chance. I was thinking the other day, because I haven't had a chance to unpack it. I took it to Bradford in November, and then brought it back, and it was all in its flight cases. And I thought I'll leave it in its cases because I've got some other things. And I was waiting for these little chips, these VCA chips.
Yeah.
Well, they arrived about a month or two ago, and I thought, I've got to get it all out of its flight cases, because when you do it, you can't just take one bit out. You've got to take it all out because you've got to test it. And that's a pain in the arse. So, and I think I used the keyboard stand. I think I might have used it somewhere. So, yeah, I've got to get the... So I thought what I'd do is I'll take it to Cambridge, and during that weekend, I'll just open it up and do some work on it while she's there. Because there are quiet bits, and I can just take a few cards out and pop in the chips. So, yeah, it'll give me an opportunity to do all that, I hope. It's good fun. It's good fun. And it's like £9 for the day, or you can do a weekend ticket, or you can do family tickets. And also the rest of the museum is open as well. So you can go and geek out and play on Commodore 64s or, whatever.
Yeah.
Oryx. Do you remember the Oryx?
Yeah, I remember Oryx.
Funny story. My friend who works for IK Multimedia, is the UK sales guy for IK Multimedia.
Yeah.
Actually worked on the Oryx many, many years ago. It's quite interesting that, yeah. Because I said, I'm going to Cambridge to do this thing at the Centre of Computing History. He said, see if they've got an Oryx. I said, really? Nobody bought those. He said, oh, yeah. My friend had one of those. His dad bought it. His dad was the sort of person that would buy the thing you shouldn't buy. Like when he went to buy a video recorder, he bought Betamax. Yeah. I mean, yes, Betamax was better, but it died very quickly.
Yeah, it was the format that didn't survive.
Yeah, and then he bought my mate his computer, and he didn't buy a Commodore 64 or a Spectrum. He bought him an Oryx because the guy in Dixon said it was better or something. So, yeah. Neil Wharton is asking what dates. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Think. Augmented voices.
No, this is Dominus again.
So
I was getting a bit film scorey before I started the show. It was quite good actually. Made a nice change. There was only 3 things I had to fix first. There's always something. Always something.
Neil, I've put the dates in the chat, 26th and the 27th of June. No, it's definitely June, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, take the.
I hope it is.
had to take the expression pedal apart because what it would do is as it's travelling up, it get about 25% and then jump to 80.
Oh wow, smooth.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing an
So
impromptu jam?
Sorry.
Are you doing an impromptu jam here?
Oh no, not yet. No,
Oh.
we could do.
What you got? What you got to hand, Rob?
Oh, not me.
What's I've neglected my polybrute for a little while.
Oh, yes, you have, haven't you? We haven't heard her online for a long time.
Let's see. Right. Hopefully she won't need tuning or anything. She's very stable. Here we go. What we got?
Go on then, what key are you going for?
One of the white ones.
Okay, cool. Got a bunch to choose from.
Just trying to.
Just say alien.
Keys? What's keys? I don't do keys.
You know, the toothy things on the front.
Put my glasses on.
Steady on.
What's going on? Here we go.
Going to try to look more intelligent now.
Well, honestly, I swear, I've got these glasses. They cost me a flipping fortune, but for reading my computer screen, they're pretty bloody right.
Yeah, it's like mine. They're about 800 quid and they're fucking useless.
Here we go. Let's see what we've got here. Try find. There we go. This one. This is nice. This one. A bit hot. This is hang on, let's move that there. This is using that last note aftertouch that they brought in on the version 2.
Oh, okay.
So you can hit I'll hit there's a chord and then I'll take this finger and I go here. So it only gives you the aftertouch on that, whatever the last note is.
I'm with you.
So it's not proper poly aftertouch, but it gets you something.
It's getting you there, yeah.
It's a little different. There you go. Let me try. I'm trying to remember where my patches are because I haven't messed around with it in such a long time. There's one. Where is it? Here's one I programmed earlier. Oh no.
Oh.
That'll be a copyright strike.
Yay, straight out the back.
Oh. Where is... I can't even remember what the patch is called now. There's a really nice little. Oh no. No, that's not it. Is this it? No. Jeez. The one thing I maybe I haven't understood it correctly, but selecting patches on the Polybrute, if you want to select by, say, for example, patch type, so pad, lead sound, that I don't believe there's a way of filtering so that all you find, you just have to kind of remember where they are, or you use the Polybrute Connect software, which is what I'm trying to do here, but I'm struggling to see with these shit glasses. So here we go. I think it was in. What's it after sequence?
Let's try that. Assign that to Rise. Any. Oh,
I need to find this patch.
this is that Arturia one, I think.
Oh, the voice.
That's clever. I like it.
Oh, this is going to do my head in. This. It was a patch. I was going to use it when I was going to do a demo.
Right.
Of the Polybrute for the ProSynth network, and I just didn't have time to finish it. But I found this patch that allowed some ham-fisted hack like me to make something sound quite nice. And for the love of me, I cannot find that patch. I cannot remember. Is this it? It is. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Right. So let me see if I can do this now. Because this really shows off the kind of the nuance of.
Okay.
That's not really a good camera point, is it? Screw that. Sorry, guys. You know, just a bit the side of my head.
Nice.
Oh, chair's stuck now. What the hell? Right.
Go for it.
No. Oh, you stupid dick. This is entertainment, isn't it? Oh, you're not entertained. Do you know what? That has gone out of tune.
Is it?
Yeah. Only a little. So it doesn't take long to. Voice. Yeah. Miscellaneous. Auto tuning. Let's do all of them while we're here. There we go.
Steady now.
No, it's been a while since I've had it turned on. So it's just slipped a little out of tune.
It's weird because the 80 doesn't do that. Weird.
Well, this thing sits in a fairly averagely temperature room. Doesn't sort of go extremely hot or cold or anything. But yeah, every now and again, if you turn it on, and it's very rare, you turn it on and it says the room temperature, or the ambient temperature is whatever.
Yeah.
We recommend that you retune. So you just do it and it'll do it. You'll hear something in a second as it's flicking through. It'll do some weird noises.
I'll tell you what then, while we're waiting for that, I will show you the power of expression pedals.
Go on then.
Okay. From here. So you can see we've got one machine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try something.
I'll make you big on the screen. There you go. There we go.
Steady. Not much going on there. It'll work. It won't work. Hey! Live shows. Huh? That's more like it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've got to check that everything's working when I do it. And all of a sudden, it's not. What's wrong with my my expression pedals have stopped working? Oh,
So
God.
cool, isn't it?
Does anybody have any working gear in their studio? Unbelievable.
What is that?
It's always true at demos, right? It fails right when you do a demo.
Yep. Absolutely incredible, isn't it? It's
Just ask Microsoft, Apple, and everyone else.
unbelievable, isn't it? It's. Oh, do you know what it is? Wrong expression pedal.
Duh.
I'm
I
sorry.
can't believe. What synth do you think this is?
Go on. Broken one. Can't really hear anything.
Oh, can you not hear it?
No.
Oh,
It's low.
fucking hell.
It's very low.
Can you hear it now?
Nope.
Now nothing.
Hear it
Yeah.
even- No, I hear it less now.
Better one. Better two. Better one.
Hey, look, let me try the expression pedal again. Hang on.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to work either. Fucking piece of shit. Right, here we go.
You need a dB.
Ah.
Very nice.
That's beautiful.
That's what you can do with an expression pedal.
Very nice. So I can't believe you can't hear this.
I can hear that.
You can hear that?
Yep.
Look at that.
What do you think that is? Not the synth.
I haven't got a clue. I haven't got an absolute clue.
It sounds very 80s.
It's a fucking microfreak.
What?
That's the microfreak.
Seriously?
Like in core mode.
I shit you not.
Wow.
It sounds huge.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
It's every time I turn it on and flick through a preset, I think, how the fuck does it do that?
That's why people are hoping for a polyfreak at Superbooth.
Yeah. I mean, it's all paraphonic, so you can hear that, but it's an incredible machine for that price and that size. It's
Is your brute warmed up now?
almost. It's going through. It's just doing the ladder filter.
Oh, Christ almighty.
Yeah, so I did it the whole thing because I thought, oh, if the voices are out, but everything else
Still going. I mean, bloody hell, what's the processor clockwork?
No, I did the whole like full.
Oh, you went for the. Yeah, but even so, come on.
It's thorough. I'll give it that. It's thorough.
Yeah, I'll say. Yeah.
Oh, pop.
Oh, pink.
I can't be bothered to switch all my controls on, so I'm doing all of this through. Where are we? Touch piano. Up an octave. Up an octave. That's the Essence FM.
Wow.
Again, this is something I haven't played with for a little while.
You know what that is, don't you?
Do it again. I feel like I should know what it is, but I don't.
Timberwolf.
Oh, I feel dirty.
Solid.
I feel very, very dirty.
Very solid indeed.
Yes. Oh.
There's one guy on YouTube who does amazing Timberwolf videos, but most of them are crap.
Yeah.
Got his entire songs with the timbre wolf and a rhythm wolf, and they sound really good, actually.
Right. That sounds worse. Oh, what's going on? I've got Kent's problem now. I think something's messing around. Let me shift out of. Here we go.
You haven't lived unless you had Kent's problem.
It's a StreamYard virus.
Yeah.
No, that's out of tune. Wow, what's going on here? So this is a C, but it's not, because this is a C. Yeah, that's a C.
Yeah.
That's a polybrute at the moment. Okay. Bloody well, right. Oh, I love that band.
Bollocks!
I should have the drum kit set up.
Yeah.
That, shouldn't I?
You can do, what's the other one?
Ken, how are you coming along with Ivory too?
I'm trying to remember how that one got.
Yeah.
And so forth and so forth.
So forth. Yes.
It's funny how I learned Supertramp songs.
Well, I mean, really, let's be honest, you can't learn much better.
Oh, bollocks. And so forth. Yeah.
Just a bit of hair dipping out.
It's, have you tried flipping your
Excuse me?
pitch wheel
Flipping my
on your
pitch wall.
polybroke? Yeah, it's something I was doing regularly when when it was actually the TR8 knocking out the Hydra.
It's just so I'm just doing a VCO tune now. But that's odd. I've never had it go like that before.
Oh, what if you can mix it with that? Can you mix it with that? Oh, you can. Thought you were going to play Star Wars there for a minute.
These are some Manny's patches for the Essence.
Oh.
Talking of Manny, we are currently in the process of arranging a ProSynth Network special show on the Yamaha VP1, where Manny will be playing his VP1, well, not his VP1, but the one he's been making, along with David Polich, who was one of the original preset programmers on that machine.
Trying to get a copy.
Nice time to play the VP and the VL for comparison.
Sorry?
Guys, to hear the VP and VL for comparison.
Yeah, we should do. Well, I mean, Manny's got a VL1 or VL7. I can't remember which now. So yeah, we're definitely doing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got a VL1. If he's not got a VL1, he's got a VL1M. So yeah, and I'll whack out my lowly PG150 VL card.
Yeah, I have the VL70M and the EX5.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're done tuning. Right, let's just test this thing.
Give it a go. Give us a C. Give us a C.
No.
Me.
That's really weird and very disconcerting.
About turn it off and
That's exactly what I'm
let it all reset again.
Hey, speaking of tuning, Kent, have you noticed weird stuff with your sledge?
No, she's been absolutely faultless.
I was trying to play sledge along with my virus, and I had to tune the shit out of the sledge. Did not sound sour.
Oh.
And it was across different patches. It wasn't just one patch.
Was there any like USB MIDI or anything like that plugged in?
No, it was just solo, just audio out.
Wow.
And so I figured it out, but I had to go into the tuning section and tweak the crap out of it. So
really, that's pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
There's a factory hardware reset on it though, isn't there?
I did that. I did the new upgrade too that allows the MIDI mutes, because I also have the Panic, because I had some MIDI issues too with another thing. So.
Wow.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's fine, but just these little weird quirks, and it's had a few quirks along the way for sure with the history of it. But.
Well, the turning it off and on again didn't work. I'm a tad concerned now.
Well, you giving her another tune since you turned her on off?
I'm just now doing one.
All right, yeah. Maybe it just needs to pull everything back in again. Indeed. So what's this Arturia piano like?
I've not tried the new one, but every time I tried the previous version, it was good.
Right.
But it sounded a little artificial in places.
All right, let's have a look. See if I can't even find it in the enormous fucking list.
It's under P.
What a stupid place to put it. Oh, here we go. Piano. Here we go. Yes,
I got some ones. I'll catch you guys later. It was good fun.
Okay.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Play several notes as softly as possible to detect the smallest velocity sent by the keyboard.
Mhm.
There you go. I'm pressing as softly as possible, and it's not doing anything. Okay. All right. It's not saying okay done or anything.
Why is that doing?
Oh, Pratt. That's why. It's jumped to seaboard rise instead of hydrosense. I wonder what. Oh. That's not bad, you know.
Mm. I've yet to play with it. Actually, let's play it together. Although mine will only last 20 minutes because I'm still running on demo. Do you hear that, Arturi? I'm still running on goddamn demo.
Is it picking up on that? No, it bloody isn't. So it needs to. Oh, I'd have to assign it to a completely different keyboard for it to work properly. You piece of shit. I'll try that.
Right.
It's not bad, you know,
That's it.
considering in the package it works out at costing about £8.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And this is a physically modelled piano, is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I don't want to take a quick. So a keyboard calibration. Play several notes as softly as possible.
Yeah.
Detect the smallest velocity sent by the keyboard.
Try and remember how it goes, Ken.
Oh, shit.
No.
I can't get it.
Nope. Anybody got a brain that I can dump some memory into? That apparently I don't have anymore. All right, so it's American Grand. What else we got? German Grand. Yeah. Japanese Grand. Hustle. Yeah. Pop Grand. Pop. Classical Upright. Yeah, I wish I was. Pop Upright. That's rude. Piano Bar. Plucked Grand. Track Upright. Oh, a Glass Grand. Why not? So that's it's a solid glass piano. What it does sound like is it's out of a 1920s pub. Yeah. And so forth.
All right, here we go.
Metal.
So American Grand.
Yeah, American Grand seems to sound the best. Is it working?
Here's your E.
Not hearing a thing.
You're not here? Oh, of course. You think I'd be on top of all this shit? But
Studio virus.
joke. Joke.
Yeah, I know. It happens to me all the time as well. Settings.
Getting that?
Yep, getting that. Hello and welcome to Piano World. What's that?
It's not me, is it? Oh no! That's
No,
my
it's you.
polybrew. That's my polybrew. Now it didn't do that the last time, so I think, yeah, that's the polybrew tuning. Sorry.
That needs to be done with Arturia's CS80. Let's call that out then.
Oh, don't make me change. Okay.
No, that's all right. I'll call it out. Don't worry.
I'm so hoping to hear from my friend Arturia tomorrow.
Oh, it'd be good because it'd be nice if you can play these things without having to
Yes, I'll use the
piss
demo
about
on
too
the
much.
portals. Oh, let's set the MIDI up because I didn't do that.
I'm really impressed that Cubase hasn't crashed, to be honest.
Let's test the interface.
That's interesting. It didn't come up.
I see that opening patch. This opening patch on the CS80V.
Yeah.
That aftertouch.
Can't really hear it at the moment from you.
Oh no!
You see, the thing is, that's not the best one.
It's not. No.
No. The best one, if you can grab it, is the LA 2019. That one.
Yeah, well, let's do a comparison. And this.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah.
It's it's. So
Let's try this. Hang on now. How weird it doesn't. Oh, hang on. What's it set to? Not this keyboard. That's why. La 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 la. I wish it was more intelligent and.
right.
That's interesting.
See if this polybrew is working. No.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's not good. Is there a tune dial on the front panel you might have knocked up or something? Knocked up.
Looked up. Oh, for fuck's sake. I've just done a song.
It's nice if you can back it up with some Hans Zimmer strings, though.
Right. I did a song.
Go on. Yeah.
As soon as you said there's not a tuning knob on the front, I'm like, no, there isn't. Oh yeah, there is.
Oh dear, there is, and you moved it.
The fine tune. So yes.
Yes, in that case.
I am a twat.
Oops. But like I say, the guitar 1 and 2 on the Arturia CS80V is getting there. It is.
Oh yeah.
It's not quite right. I have to make a few minor adjustments here, then. And we'll put a little bit of aftertouch to the VCO. So I should be able to now
Is that a preset?
Hmm?
Is that a preset?
Yeah. And so forth and so forth.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So
It's
It's
still but
working.
the envelopes are still too short. So
Okay.
what I want to do is transfer it to the front panel and open up the filter envelope.
Yeah.
Sustain a bit more, decay a bit more rather,
Uh-huh.
because it's.
So this is the polybrute now. Behaving.
Here we go.
This is the so this is a bitimbral patch.
Right.
So you got this riff. And that's on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you have this, which also has a second patch that sits behind it,
Gotcha.
which is this. And you can then morph between the two and anywhere stop in between. A nice little blend of both.
Yeah, it's clever.
So it's doing, it's a it is a multi-timbral synth to a point.
Yeah.
But then that patch, so the right hand side of the keyboard is, it starts off with this one. And then you can either use the Morph A pad and go to this sound, or anywhere in between.
Move here.
But then still have that going in the background and then play on top of that.
Right, so you can do quite a bit at once then.
It's all polyphonic as well.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
get lost in that.
I'm just wondering what the flute patch is like on the 80.
So are you just selecting these off the front panel?
Yeah.
I need to make mine bigger.
Oh, hang on a minute. Why is one of these is selecting something really mad? Ah, yes, I see why. Oh, shit, no, don't do that. You destroyed it. It should be assigned to there. Right, now let's have a look at you. Not there. Nope, nothing. Oh, I know why. Hang on. Okay, that needs to go up several feet. Too much. It's not. Doesn't all seem to match up the same. All right, hang on a sec. Try that. Bit of that. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, not quite. No, not quite there.
But it's as close as a.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about the sine wave on an 80 that's weird. It's not. It's pulled slightly, and it has a very, very particular tone to it, which I feel I'm not hearing there. That said, though, I mean, when you pull down the old ring. Now, there is a point where you slow the speed down, and it'll do that. But if you bring the mod down slightly, almost there. It's almost there. There's a syncopation it does when you do that on the front of the 80 that this is starting to do, but doesn't do it enough. It's not defined enough on it. But nonetheless, it's still you know. Don't get me wrong. It's put it down the bottom here.
The one thing that I always found with the previous versions, and I am no expert. I feel wrong using the word expert in that phrase. I am a complete fucking.
Yeah, but your ears
I know
work.
nothing about CSA.
Yeah, but your ears work.
Yeah, and I know what it sounds like. And whenever
Yeah.
I've played any of the other versions of the CS80, it was almost like, you know, when you put a spice into a meal and you could taste it, and it's like, oh yeah, that tastes very much like. But it's not. This version so far really does get me so much more. You know, this actually feels like I'm eating a CS80 rather than I'm eating something else with a hint of CS80.
Definitely.
Maybe that's just because some of the presets they've done are very CS80-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but they've given, you know, again, like the Cherry Audio guys said on the show on Friday, where they do an approximation.
Yeah,
and that's what this is doing. But instead of it being the approximation between an 80 and another 80, it's more like an approximation between an 80 and an 80 that wasn't quite calibrated right, and
Right.
it's there. So what it is you got the approximation, and it's just ever so slightly skewed in one way, sort of thing, slightly. But it's for what it costs and how it sounds as soon as you drop it out of the box and boom. Because the other, I mean, all the others I have to adjust as well. So, and you know, when you actually want to try and recreate these sounds from scratch with, you know, strobe or what's another one is Zebra 2 or something like that. You're looking at a lot of work. So, you know, push the button, off you go, kind of thing. Then brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's good that you can just back everything up.
Oh, I'm so happy now that my polybrews.
Yeah, it's the simple things. Yeah, it's the simple things. No, I love my big girl.
And do you know what it was? I cleaned it the other day. That's what it was. I must have not fine-tuned.
Oh, you've not. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
That's what it was.
No, I have the habit of always looking at the tune because I always have to check that before I start calibrating a synth. Because when you do one where you do the first bank of an 80 and then you do the second bank and then you put it all back together and bolt it all up and then find that the bank 2 detune is pulled down. So when it's in the centre, it's like that. And you've got to do the whole of bank 2 again. It's like, motherfucker.
It's funny, isn't it? As synthesists, we often overlook tuning, don't we?
Yes.
Because you just think, oh, it's technology will do it for me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always. Somebody stay. Actually, let me try augmented voices.
Which it needs to say something else. Say something else. Say whatever that is. I'm not very good with Latin. Is that too high or too low? Can't play too much of my next album, can I?
No, quite.
Otherwise, people go, I've heard this before. Oh, man. I sent some of this stuff to Hans to listen to. How fucking arrogant is that? Really?
Oh, that's almost, you could get into.
Not hearing a thing.
Of course. Every time. This is
back and forth.
It's loop back because I'm not sticking. What I should do is I should open up Logic and then do everything through Logic. But every time I open up a new instrument, it's saying, you've got to add me to loop back to do. Blah, 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 blah. There you go.
Oh, right, okay.
It's quite nice, this.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, if you listen to this one, yeah. If you listen to Dominus on its own, not as a comparison, but as such, but when you listen to That's a 600 quid library, and it's only one sound, but you can get it to sing different Latin phrases. And that's the thing. Everything seems to be priced out in, accordingly.
Yeah.
But I must admit, I heard the demo of this, and I just went, oh, I've got to have that. I just love that.
Yeah. To have that at your fingertips.
Oh, yeah, and it's just, And then you go looking for really beautiful big chords because of the sound. The sound makes you write it,
Yeah.
But I've always been like that. The sound makes me write whatever it is I'm going to write rather than have an idea in my head. So if I've got a piano sound, I'll go one way, and I've got strings, I go another.
Yeah.
But that's why I think I've always been a massive fan of the expression pedal as for bringing mixing, if you like, live mixing, because that way you can get more, more colour and dramatics and textures going on without having to get out of the chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes! That's what it's all about, mate. Total laziness.
No, I'm with you all the way on that. I thought I had a library that was similar to that, where you put in the phrases. Maybe I just had a demo of it.
I'm trying to think of another one that did it. There's the East West Choirs, which was, it's still on here somewhere. One of the archive drives, I think, but I couldn't tell you which drive letter. Probably P, something like that, somewhere.
No, it must have been a demo of some sort. So I'm not seeing it.
Let's have it without. That's Hydra. Then bring in some hands.
You need hands.
You need hands to hold the little baby. Yeah, they go together well, don't they?
Yes.
Not.
Oh, what? I
Just had a flashback to Max Bygraves. Good God.
You hearing that?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, wrong key switch. There we go. Keep. You hear that? Yeah. That's all sample libraries with a
Yeah, those strumming guitar libraries have come leaps and bounds now.
haven't they?
There's one I've got that I absolutely adore called Torch. And what it does is on one side of the keyboard you do the chords, and on the other side you just hit it to do the strumming.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of
Type
what
of
this
thing.
is.
Yeah. But then you can but you get all the like acoustic and electric guitars and all the rest of it. But even when you're doing the strumming, it still works out whether it's an upstroke or a downstroke or whatever. There's these different bits and pieces. Yeah, literally like that.
Yeah.
With
So
and then you have the key switches.
So these are your strummers here.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you're not holding any notes down, it just does that. But as soon as you hold a chord down,
Yeah.
but then you
Yeah.
can also do
So you can do your mutes and everything like that as well.
yeah. And then you've also got this pattern mode as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think
Um,
Torch has that as well. Yeah. In fact, this could have been Torch, but just with a different GUI.
So then you have and it really does. I mean, wow.
Oh, is this running in Falcon?
This is acoustic sample Sunbird, which is they do this. They do strategy, which is Stratocaster. They do telematic, which is a Telecaster. I think they do another one. I'm not sure if I've got it there. But yeah, brilliant scripting, just brilliant.
Yeah, I'd say. Sounds really good.
So and it's all if you are a MIDI guitarist. So if you have a MIDI guitar, you can set it up to work with that as well. So you can have
Okay.
all sorts. And the beauty of it is that when you're holding down a chord, the voicing on the guitar is different to the voicing on a keyboard. So if I hold down, this particular chord here, it works out as an F major or a C major or an A7 sus4, and it will play. It will play it how it would be on a guitar,
On
not
a guitar.
not on a piano.
Yeah, because nobody's hand is like 25
Exactly, yeah.
inches across. Yeah.
So it does all of that working out for you, which is why it sounds so.
Yeah.
And there's so many different things.
Yeah, I mean, you master if you could master that. I mean, you're looking at. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Hey,
Turn your YouTube down.
I did. Just testing you. Wow, that guitar, that simulation sounds crazy
It's
cool.
cool, isn't it?
In it, it's brilliant stuff.
And then you can mess around with your mic placements, overheads, close positions, and all that kind of stuff. If you go for the electric, where are we? That's what was it called again? Strategy. There we go. Just load that up. It'll take a couple of seconds. It's 5,374 key groups.
Jeez.
But it's all very good.
Yeah, guitar's always been a hard one. That was the hardest one for me to learn for some reason.
Yeah.
Piano and drums, kind of similar to me, but guitar, man, it's just a weird instrument. But they really nailed that timbre and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it. I mean, because what's brilliant about it, because obviously they sample each individual note per string, and then they sort of group together with that scripting to how somebody would play. And it just works so well because of it.
So same sort of thing with this.
Here we go.
Again, you can mess around with the pickups, but you've also got.
Ooh.
I love it when they have all the pedals like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you can mess around, and then you can mess around with where the mic sits. Which if you want it sitting in front of stereo and different models, you could different model of amplifiers and everything. I mean, It's just great.
Come on, give us
It's
some
really good.
death metal.
Oh, I can't do that. Hang on. I don't know what. Let me just go back to. Let's go to pattern mode. Stick them all on.
Small, yeah.
Rotary's fucking up. Here we go. Put some tube on.
Get some My Bloody Valentine going. Just start changing
Yeah.
everything.
No, I'm not sure it's sort of set out to do death metal, but
No, it's a shame.
yeah, I'm sure you could get fairly close if you knew what you were doing. But yeah, it's just, you know, if somebody always wanted to play guitar but couldn't, now I kind of can. Maybe I shouldn't, but
You might be able to hide it in a track, though. You know.
Yeah.
There's definitely times when you want that bite. You
Yeah.
know. That, you know, you really miss it. You're like, oh man, I just need that.
I did a track a little while back, and I wanted some kind of Nile Rodgers type guitar thing in there. I wonder if I can call it up. Let me just find it. And I basically used Rob Pappen did a plugin called RGRE. I think it was rhythm guitar rack extension for Reason. And I was just flicking through, and I found this Nile Rodgers riff. And when I played it back, it was like, that sounds like a guitarist playing, you know, kind of a rhythm, you know, kind of Nile Rodgers type thing. And it wasn't, all it was just me holding down a few chords, and letting this thing, you know, the scripting thing on this thing, you know, do all the strumming. Let me just. Oh fuck it! Come on, where are we? Let's move that out of the way. Let's move that over here.
Have I got a Mark Lamar thing going on here or something?
I know mine because I've got Sunday hair. Look, this bits are just like.
I got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I got like this.
It's sort of like, it's like, really, what's going on there?
So let's see if I can find this thing.
It's not the most flattering. Cleo likes it.
Hmm. Puss.
What do you want to say? Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, bless her.
Beauty.
Right, let's see if this loads.
No, there's Sparko down here. Laying across the
There she goes.
MPCX.
Yeah.
It's what it is, David. It's when you're not paying her attention, she talks.
I know. She's very.
Me. It's all about me, Daddy.
Oh, she does. She like perches on one of the cat things as I walk by. She just screams at me.
Right. Let's
Okay.
see if this works. Right, make sure you get some audio. Here we go.
Steady now.
Oh, bloody thing. Right. No, I want you to go full screen on that screen.
Studio
There we
curse.
go, right.
Studio curse.
Application window. Right. So let's find this guitar track. There's DX7s everywhere in this. You are hearing this, by the way, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, if you get a copyright strike, Ken, that's me, and I want my money.
Oh, okay.
Because this is published somewhere.
I don't know who you're getting it off. Though, but
Right. So, oh, now it's. So this is that instrument. This is Rob Pappen RG, And if I go, yeah, this track here, solo that. Might need to go back a bit. No, oh, it's the other side. There we go. Here we go. That's all I wanted was this kind of chicka chicka chicka. And that's this instrument playing. So to put it into some kind of context. And in the mix, you just think,
Yeah.
just sitting there, just underneath, on its own.
And it's not a sample like you played it.
No, I just hold chords down.
Yeah, but it's not a little.
But yeah, it's just like you hold the chords down and it works out the strumming and all of that for you.
Fuck. It's getting crazy out there.
And that's something that's old. And all you got to do is like tell it what key it's in, or it works it out or something. I don't know. It's just
Kind of
and
wish.
and you can go in like this bit here. You can go in and say no, I want the downstroke here or the upstroke there, or
Yeah.
I want this note and ghost notes and it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Oh yes, everybody has.
That would be a copyright strike.
Yep.
Sounds huge still on my speakers. It's like filling up.
Yeah, tell you what, mate. Expression pedals.
Yeah.
Yes. Get the strings in behind it. Oh. Oh.
I went all out 80s on this one.
Didn't you just?
Everybody's coming.
Love that. There's something about that sound. When you double it up, and
Yeah.
just classic Oberheim DX. Wait till those toms come in. Solo this. What's the bass? Oh yeah, the bass was the Poly 6 on it. And of course you had to have some obligatory Fairlight.
Yeah.
Yes. I was quite proud of that one. Yes. Anyway, enough of that. And if anybody likes that, it is on my Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Although it's under my pseudonym of Waveform Supervisor. Go and Google Waveform Supervisor.
Another pseudonym?
Another pseudonym. Yeah, I never do anything under my own name. Ever.
That's where I've been going wrong.
I think it's because A, I'm embarrassed, and B, I don't want people to judge because overseas. I actually released that track, and I didn't tell. I only told one person about it. I said I'm going to put this track out, and I'm not going to tell anybody it's me. And I'm just going to go around a few places and say, "Hey, I just heard this. What do you think?" And then just like shared the link around. And I thought, oh yeah, it might go viral. No, I sold one copy.
Oh,
and every time I used to do
Hey, Andy.
Fridays, you know.
hey, buddy.
And I'd say, hey,
Hey
go and get
guys, how's it going?
for £1.
I heard the cat. I had to jump back in again.
It's hard. It's pretty. I hate to think what it takes to go viral now. This is getting pretty.
Trust me, I've tried.
It is so. God, you get on Facebook or something, look at some of this stuff, and you're just like, oh.
Well, what was I watching? I was watching this interview with the guy that we put into Eurovision. So you know what Eurovision is, David? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do now. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy that we put in, he was a building site labourer, and one day he decided to sing his version of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," but in his, because he's got a kind of a falsetto-y kind of, but it can also be a bit as well. It's an amazing voice that he's got. But he did this thing, and apparently he got 2 million views within like half a day. He went to bed and woke up the next morning, and he's got 2 million views. And all he's done is he's just sung a different, his version of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." And now he's on Eurovision singing to 200 million people last night, and he's now he's got a career, and rightly so, because he's got a great voice. But he's now got a career off of the back of doing that. And I think, well, what could I do that I could post up, and then within 12 hours you get 2 million views.
It's sort of like Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
I didn't, I don't really enjoy it, but I was somehow on my YouTube feed. There she was, and so I click it, and she's playing some live show a couple years ago, and it is just hundreds. I mean, tens. It's got to be hundreds of thousands of people. It is just packed, and she's just jumping around, and it's just like she's like in her bedroom, just screwing around with her, some tunes, and there she is. It's got. I don't even know how you. Yeah, it is pretty weird how that how do you go viral?
Yeah, I'd like to think it was luck, but I'm a cynic, and I think that there might be something more to it. And I don't know. I mean, I was reading an article the other day about plants, and not talking, flowers, but industry plants. That these artists, like Billie Eilish, are not actually discovered, because Billie Eilish is a classic example, and I'm not detracting from her talent. She clearly has got a set of pipes on her, and she's made some great, tracks. I'm not familiar with her entire oeuvre, but this story that is like her and her brother in her bedroom knocking up this stuff, and like, oh my god, it's amazing. Well, what you have to do is you have to go back one generation to look at their parents, and you find that their parents have got blue ticks next to their names in things like Twitter, and they've got their own Wikipedia pages. Yeah. And actually there's privilege behind it.
Yeah. Oh.
Big financial privilege.
Too. Yeah, I do think that happens a lot, because we know the truth with a lot of these. I got real fascinated for a while by like these ghost songwriters, and learning even songs like I wish I could think of the lady's name. She just passed away recently, but she helped out the Pet Shop Boys, and just
oh yes, yeah, another one.
She's kind of a wild looking cat, and she always rode on the roads. And I got really fascinated with her a few years before her death.
She's the one that did What Have I Done to Deserve This? She co-wrote that.
She co-wrote it, and I would have never dreamed they didn't write all. You know what I mean? That there was somebody.
Well, they mostly did, but every now and again they didn't. Yeah.
But I guess But then digging deeper, you start finding, well, so and so didn't write this, or so Aerosmith didn't write this, and you just start going, wow.
Yeah.
And so to your point, I guess, is that if it smells funny, there's usually kind of something to
something funky. Yeah, it's like Lily Allen. So I don't know if Lily Allen's big over in the US, but she had this story that she put some stuff out on MySpace back when MySpace was a thing, and that got a following, and then that following led to her releasing a mixtape or a whatever, and then she gets signed by a label, and then all of a sudden she becomes this massive success, and she's had a bunch of hit albums. And I really quite like Lily Allen, and I like her songs. I like what she does, but the very fact that she's the daughter of a guy called Keith Allen, who is a very famous British actor, and has also done a bunch of recordings as well with various bands for like World Cup songs and stuff like that. And you think, actually, did she get where she was, but simply because she wrote a few songs, stuck them on MySpace, and was discovered? Or was it because she had the advantage of not necessarily a famous parent putting her in front of certain people, but certainly a famous parent who would have probably let Lily stay at home for a few years after she left school without having to pay any rent or get a proper job, and then she could afford to spend time. I'm not denying that she's got talent. I'm just saying she had the privilege to explore and grow that talent, whereas other people, they turn 18, they leave school, I've got to get a job, I don't have time to go and do this stuff. I'm not saying that's across the board, but
there's definitely there's certain genres that you definitely feels that way. I used to tell the story of Good Charlotte, who really were a pretty bad band, but they were a Maryland band, Southern Maryland. They were not touring or doing much. And then the story came out. Their parents went up to New York, got them signed.
Yeah.
And, they were manufactured pretty much. Did some, what did they call them? The not auditions, but those special shows. Where they go there and so that and if you're an executive at some point after you've dealt with a few really difficult, not really difficult artists, but artists that want what they deserve, it's like, hey man, we'll just get some people writing some tunes and
because it's not every day that you get a Springsteen or a Dylan or an Elton John or Beatles that literally did create themselves because of their skills and their talent. I mean, even Elton John, to a point, I mean, he had to go through a process, but he didn't have that kind of privileged background where his parents were able to finance him.
You can tell, even the Billy Joels. I mean, they were just good, really talented.
Yeah,
and they got discovered.
Sadly, nepotism and payola really.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think it's healthy, especially if you like I said, certain genres more so than others. I mean, the stuff like Nirvana and Foo Fighters and stuff like that. Well, even Nirvana, the money definitely comes in at some point. You put in your dues, and then that's different than just somebody. But yes, Billie Eilish and her brother, it feels like how you could manufacture something if you wanted to sell it based on what they do and their trajectory. There was no touring. Nobody has. That's not a Good Charlotte. Nobody knew about it. Like, we tour all the circuits. Like, how did they just get this club gig?
Yeah.
Like, and then we're listening to them on the radio, and they're telling us everyone they're from where we are, and we're like, no, they're not. Trust me, like nobody ever heard of them, and we knew obviously because we were all that's what we did. We hung out at the bar the nights we didn't play, and then played the other nights. So I don't know. So now
even big established bands like Led Zeppelin, classically taking all the old obscure blues artists and just lifting their tracks and their lyrics and their licks and never crediting it until they finally got busted for it and had to reprint.
What really annoys me is when you see these famous people, whoever they might be, and they say, if you want to get where I want to get, all you got to do is you got to work hard. You got to keep
Oh.
believing in your dream. You got to work hard, never
Oh.
give up.
You wanna
You're going to
10,000
get
hours,
slapped
right?
in the face. You're going to
Yeah.
get,
And
you're going to
also-
smack down. And it's,
Yeah.
and I think, and you look back, I remember distinctly, this is going to sound really odd, but I remember Mel B from the Spice Girls saying something like that once, saying, "Oh yeah, well I worked really hard and I never gave up on my dream. And look at me now, I'm part of the biggest girl band in the world." But when you actually understand how the Spice Girls got put together, they all went to performing arts schools. They all got handpicked and put together by a management team. Yes, you might have worked hard. Yes, you might have fought for your dream, but that's not like the guy or the girl that isn't going to a performing arts school, that doesn't have wealthy parents, that has to go out and do a full-time job just to pay the
They're
bills.
assembled like the Backstreet Boys.
Exactly, they're all sort of assembled like that, and it really annoys me, because I'm thinking I had a dream, and millions of other people have had a dream about doing this, and we worked hard and we just couldn't do it for, because life, because we had to get a job, or we didn't have the luxury of of privilege, I guess, is what to kind of boil it down to one thing.
Yeah, anybody that really got in their scenes at all know a lot of people that were really good that just deserved it way more than even I would.
So much, yeah.
And
so much.
And yeah, and that's why it's hard to have the conversations, because for me it's kind of personal, that most of these people ended up okay with their lives. But I know someone very much like Grace, who he's just, God, he's toured his whole life, and now he's getting 50, and his body's getting harder for him, and then everything shut down, and he's a talented musician in his own right, but he just gave everything for it, and it is hard to listen to someone on whatever it is start preaching. All you got to do is you got this, and you just go like, man. But yeah, it is tough,
Why is that?
Definitely.
Yes, yeah. It's I look at my son. I mean, he's 16. He's clearly got some talent there. He's just passed his music technology GCSE at level 2 distinction. He's doing now at A level. He's going to be doing it for the next 2 years at A level. He's producing and he's mixing tracks. He's writing tracks. He's playing tracks. He knows his way around Logic and all this kind of stuff. He's really doing some, very, very cool stuff. And yet I think I can't afford to send him to, the Brit school, or I can't afford, just like my old man couldn't afford to send me to the, what was it called? Gateway School of Music and Recording Technology in Kingston upon Thames in 1986 or whatever it was. It was £2,500 for a 6-month course, and my old man couldn't afford to send me on it.
I was going to go there.
Yeah, Steve Howell taught there. That was the bizarre thing. I was telling that story to Steve once, and he says, "Well, fuck me." He said, we'd have met 20 years before or 30 years before, whatever it was.
I think it was about 86 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like,
yeah, $2,500 in 86 was like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, we had
buy a reasonable car.
Yeah, there was no guarantee of a job at the end of it, even though they said you'll stand a good chance. You didn't. There was no guarantee of a job.
Well, we could have nipped up to Sam, couldn't we?
Yeah.
And gone,
made some tea.
Yeah.
Well, do you know, I went for an interview at a studio in Suffolk here. I forget the name of the producer, but bands like Quo and who was that guy? Cuddly Toy, Andrew Roachford. He recorded there. It was a really lovely studio, and because it was out in the middle of the countryside, a lot of the bands used to like coming up there because they didn't like going to Sarm East, where you had to go like 2 flights of stairs underground and there was no windows. Anyway, I was working at the local co-op as a shelf stacker, whatever, and this woman came in, and she was Asian. I'm not sure where she was from, but she was the wife of the, and the only reason I made the point about her being Asian is because this was in the middle of Suffolk. You know, we don't get from the foreign types around here. So she stood out like a sore thumb, and she came up to me and she says, "I hear you. You like your music for somebody who's well, we've got a job at the studio, and we thought you might be interested." I'm like, "Yeah." She says, "Come over one day." And this was back in the days when we had half day closing. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we used to shut the shop on at like 1 o'clock on the Wednesday afternoon. And then I had Wednesday afternoon off. So I went up on my little 50cc motorbike, and I went up to the studio and walked in. It was just like, it was a proper, I walked into the control room. It was a proper control room with big monitors and a massive desk. And then there was a big sheet of glass, and there was a live room behind it with, wonderful views out of the countryside. And the guy was showing me around. He said, "Yeah, this is, if you're here 6 months, we might get you on to a bit of tape op work, or a little bit of this, a little bit of that." And he basically sat me down and he said, "Right, so this is the job. You make the tea, you skim the pool, you help serve the food on the tables," because it was a residential place. So you help serve the food. If the artist needs anything, you go out and get it, that sort of thing. If there's any painting, touching up with this, or fixing of that, that's what you do. You are you're the dog's body. And at the time, this was 1986. I was on £45 a week with the co-op. And so at the end of it, he said, "Does that interest you?" And I said, "Yes, but what does it pay?" And he said, £35 a week. So that's £10 a week less than what I'm on. And I'm thinking, can I afford £10 a week less? Considering that on £45 a week, 15 of that is going to my mother for rent. So I'm now down to £30 a week. I'm smoking. I'm having to put fuel in the bike. I don't have to buy food or anything, because that's what my rent is for. But £30 a week doesn't get you a lot.
No.
And now I'm going to go to £20 a week, but I'm going to work in the studio. And it was just that I labored over the decision for such a long time. Dream job, or potential dream job, or £10 a week extra to do, to survive, because all I wanted to do at that time was leave home. And I turned them down. And in a way, I still regret it, because it might have been.
Yeah,
something.
because you're more likely to get splashed with shit if you stand next to the bucket.
Well, exactly, yes.
So the closer you are, and it's simply just by being there.
Yeah.
And whatever can leave. Then that's up. When they say, "Oh, you work hard" and all that.
Yeah,
that's the bit they were actually talking about. They got themselves into the area, and then just sort of like push, and hope for the best.
Because what then happened was 1987, so like a year later, Rick Astley comes onto the scene. And his origin story was he was a T-boy at PWL. And he was making, and then he got discovered as a singer, and boom, his career takes off. And my mum would always say to me, "Oh, you should have taken that job in the studio.
Then we wouldn't have had to put up with bloody Rick Astley, then would we?"
She said, "You should have taken the hit.
You could have saved us, Robbie."
What were you thinking?
I know,
dude.
My mum knew full well that I wanted to leave home because me and my stepdad did not get along in quite a physical way. It was, and so I needed to get out of that place, and there was no way I was going to do that on £45 a week, let alone £35 a week. So it was just a case of you've got to go where the money is, really, and that wasn't working in the studio. Who knows what might have happened? Probably not a lot, I doubt.
Yeah, my job at the video store was making a little bit more than that, but not much. But gas was 89 cents a gallon back then, which is great. So.
Well, see, I went to work in a video store. I actually went to run a bunch of them because I thought, I'm in the video and game industry. 84 hours a week for not very much money. And the biggest perk was that you got to see a whole bunch of films a lot sooner than everybody else. That was it, really.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, it wasn't all it was cracked up to. It was because that was, yeah, around the time of Tarantino saying, yeah, I worked in a video store. And, you know, again, another sort of false origin story, you know.
Well, it was the same, you know, being an apprentice panel beater. £17 a week. Oh yeah, you got to drive every conceivable type of car there was, sometimes quite recklessly.
Yeah.
You know, and you're learning your trade. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to have a trade to fall back on and all that. Because now it's all done by robot anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it interesting, the different stories. My dad was lucky to be a very schooled musician. He could play. Not only was he a pianist, but he was a composer. He could do all the writing. You know, he would also play saxophone and clarinet, and yet almost all the kids were self-taught. He used to teach piano to other rich kids, yet we didn't get lessons.
Yeah.
And I don't judge my parents, you know, by any means. Believe me, it was, you know, we were getting by, and I got to live in a generally pretty safe area. But it was kind of ironic, you know. I was talking to one of my brothers, and we were talking about, for us, you know, we look at it that we felt our deficiency was we weren't trained, you know, to some degree. That the fact that we were, you know, just we're hacks, you know, to some degree. We had good feel and everything, but we always felt that might have played well. It certainly didn't help, right? Because, but you know, for me, luckily, I think it bothers him more, honestly, than me. I wanted to be I was the youngest, and I wanted to provide for myself so bad that always superseded everything in my life. You know, to this day, I'm a little bit, but I do, you know, I think we all kind of, it's hard, you know. I listen to him talk, and he just, you know, he still feels it could have been a great songwriter, you know, or it could have, you know, and I just still can't, but it is what it is. I mean, then I know people like my buddies that were out there on the road.
Like I say,
you know, they were on the road hey, come on, guys. Jeez. Can't do anything around this house. There's so much drama. Come on. But yeah, it's tough. I don't know.
Yeah. I remember I sat down at dinner with my dad once. Wasn't that probably about 10 years ago? And he had this restaurant, and we would sit around these tables, a whole family, and we'd eat food, and we'd drink wine, and we'd drink grappa. And of course, you know, the alcohol loosened everyone's lips a little bit, and we were talking about education and opportunities or whatever. And I was saying, like, you know, I was talking about my kids and that, and I can't remember how we got onto the subject, but he said, yeah, well, you know, I was going to, you know, pay for you to go to university. And I said, really? When was that? Because you didn't tell me. Oh, yeah, I you know, but you wanted to do this and you wanted to do that. And I said, and I said to him, Dad, you do remember that when I was 16 and I was about to leave school, I said to you, I wanted to go on this course down in London. It was £2,500 for a 6-month course at this place that was a newly kind of set up music education establishment. And I came to you and I said, will you fund me? And you said you couldn't, you wouldn't, or whatever. Oh, I don't remember that. No, but that's what it was, Dad. So on the one hand, I was like absolutely gutted that apparently there was money on the table at some point in my past. But on the other hand, I distinctly remember going to him and asking him, showing.
He just said that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's revisionist history. I think I've heard other stories where people I know that their parents have remembered some of the things that have happened, and you're like, no, I don't think so.
Because I know he helped. You know, he helped my sisters because there's 10 years between me and the next sister.
Yeah.
And then there's even more between the next one, and so on. And I know he helped them as much as he could, but then after he passed away, it became apparent that he was helping, not only his children, but also his brother and other people.
Yeah. Typical.
And to his detriment, because he was, putting himself into debt. And when he died, he had not an insignificant amount of debt, but not, crippling or anything. And luckily, it was all in his name, and so they wrote it off and didn't land on my stepmother's doorstep. But yeah, it just like I remember him saying that, and just it's just like kind of like you could.
It's kind of a jab. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like twisting of a knife. That.
Oh, you should have said something.
Well, I did. I said.
I know. No, I get it. No, I'm not making light of it. It's just, it's one of those things where you're just like, really, you're gonna say that?
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, I since I've been involved in this business in a more what's the word? I don't know. But I speak to people, lots of people who are in the industry, whether it's as developers, manufacturers, artists, producers, all different, and none of them are rich and wealthy people. None of them had it easy. Every single one of them had to fight tooth and nail, missed meals, wore shoes with holes in them, or they all to every single one of them, struggled to get, but they wanted to do this, and they're there because they want to be there. I remember when I got laid off from my last job it was 10 years ago this month, actually. I wanted to maybe not just walk into, or try and walk into another job with another employer doing the same sort of thing. I thought maybe this is the opportunity. Maybe this is that opportunity where I can say, right, I'm going to go work for myself, and I'm going to go work in the industry I want to work in. And I spoke to Mr. Spears, Dave Spears, and Chris McLeod, his business partner, and they gave me like hours of their time and sat me down and said, these are the harsh realities of working in this industry. And if you're prepared to do all of this stuff, you can probably do okay. But remember, there's all this shit stuff over here. There's some good stuff over there, but there's a lot of shit stuff over here. So you're gonna. And I came out of that, and I was just super grateful. And I ended up saying, do you know what? I'm going to go into that job where I'm doing the same sort of thing I'm doing now, and they're actually going to pay me a bit more money to do it, because I don't want to. I couldn't. I didn't have the chance or the opportunity to fail because I've got children.
Yeah.
So at that time, I had 2 young children in school with a wife. I can't afford that risk.
No, you can't do that.
So my time had come and passed, and I do what I do now, and I do it. I'm really lucky that my day job allows me to be flexible and to do all these kinds of things in between.
I have friends in several industries that are self-employed. They basically do their own thing, and they'll tell me time and again they love having the independence, but every month is a struggle.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
And the buck always stops with them, so they can't just go on vacation and drop everything.
Exactly, yeah.
Everything we take for granted in corporate life, they basically have to struggle.
Yeah, but I couldn't. Yeah.
If it had just been me on my own, I would have probably done it.
Yeah.
But when you have children and a wife and a whole bunch of other responsibilities, financial and otherwise, you just can't. You can't do it.
On that note, I got one telling me I have to go right now. We have a serious game of Monopoly that's in, was it night 5?
Night 5.
Night 4 was interesting. Different
Wow.
started emerging. We started to juice the economy. It was write $900 bills, and I was like, "This is how they do it. This is how they do." See, son, this
That's reality.
This is how you stimulate. Like, you just keep printing money, and it was like, "Aren't you happy?" I'm like, "I'm happy. You're happy." You know, we got hotels.
There's a section on bribes and kickbacks and all that. And
Yeah.
bribing governments. Yeah.
Well,
Go
everybody
for it. Yeah.
Have a nice night. Thanks
Yeah,
for-
you too. I should be off to bed
Yeah.
soon.
All right, take care.
Take care, bud.
Yes, I think I should.
Yeah, I think that's probably.
Yeah, I only caught a little bit what you guys played earlier when I was driving around, but it sounded great.
We're just sticking around.
Yeah, nothing like dicking around.
Nothing like it. Oh, I can't
Yeah,
even
funny
find
enough,
it.
I just married up Hydra with the CS80V,
Oh yeah.
doing the same patch between them.
The MPU is really working on the new stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet. I downloaded it, but I've tried it.
Yeah, fortunately with the Hydra, nearly everything just works. Just,
Except for your pitch band mod, whatever.
which is none of all that messing about in hyperspace first.
Yeah.
Just play it and boom.
But you said your Rolly was pretty good on some stuff too, right?
Yeah, it is. But there's still, a few that's, they say they're MPE, but you got to fiddle and fettle a little bit to make them do stuff. 9 times out of 10, they won't do a nice glide down.
Yeah, you're not getting the
You
true
know?
5D thing out of it.
Yeah, it's not getting the whole 9 yards on it at all.
But then again, my Hydrosynth 49 doesn't either because there's no release velocity. Oh.
Oops.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a big miss, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, there's quite a few differences between the 49 and the deluxe. Even in the build, there's a lot of difference. Like, one of the things was the modulation panel on the 49 is metal and all part of the front panel, but on the deluxe it's plastic. So, and for some reason there are more screws holding the 49 case together than there is holding the deluxe together.
I think as their entry item, they wanted to knock it out of the park. So sturdy, lift cool, felt heavy, just the whole deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the parts, everything is pretty much interchangeable anyway, so that's good.
And what's funny is my old Alesis stuff. I'm sorry, well, Alesis too, but also mainly in Sonic stuff, is incredibly heavy. And they have plastic cases, but it doesn't matter because the guts are so heavy.
Yeah. Well, that keyboard, I mean.
Well, the keyboard and also just it's a amount of circuit boards. I mean, my MR61 is makes the Hydrosynth
EPS was a heavy keyboard as well. Really
EPS,
quite
EPS
chunky. Yeah.
TS10, they're all just like monsters.
I still can't get over how heavy a Mark 1 DX7 is compared to.
Yeah, it's quite a lump, isn't it?
Really fucking heavy.
Yeah.
I thought, this will be half the heft of a DX1. No.
No.
Do they have big transformers in them?
Not massive. It's just the metal. It's just an all metal case.
Yeah,
apart from the end bits.
Yeah.
It's funny, it's got metal case and it's got these little membrane buttons.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's the future.
But I was always a massive fan of the Sonic stuff. Loved my EPS.
That's great.
And I loved my ESQ1.
I went by that store I was talking about the other day. And I went by there today on the way to an event. And they had a EPS 16 Plus keyboard in the free-to-take pile outside.
No.
So I'm curious if that one is just completely trashed because they usually...
There's 2 giant custom processors in there, isn't there? I mean, big processors, big multi-leg jobs. Yeah. Still dual in line, but I think they got about 60 legs or something stupid. Massive buggers. So, because there's that thing where when you turn her on, the first thing she has to do is scan the keyboard.
Yeah.
And if the keyboard's not there, or it thinks the keyboard's not there.
Yeah, you see the startup routine on all of them. Even the what's it called? The SQ80 that I got.
Yeah.
So the startup routine on there too.
Actually, I used to have that in Sonic piano. What was it? The DP1?
Don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, it was a 4 preset piano. I think it was piano 1, piano 2, clavichord and harpsichord or something like that. And that was heavy. It was solid wood. Fantastic piece of kit. It really was, but it weighed a ton. It was a proper hammer action job. Was it DP1?
You know, the oldest dedicated piano thingy I have is the old Kurzweil micro piano box. Have you seen one of those?
Yeah.
They're actually pretty decent.
DP4. It's like they did a DP2 and a DP4.
Oh,
Those are the
DP4.
effects,
There
yeah,
you
the
go.
effects unit, yeah.
No, the DP4 was the effects, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
There was a DP4. Yeah, I think we had one in the collection, but I'm sure it was something like DP1 or EP1 or something.
Yeah, that was it.
But it was a big black thing with almost sort of like sequential switches on it.
This user, you recently had a Clavinova for sale, but somebody got it. So,
SDP1.
SDP.
The SDP1 sampled digital piano.
Big black thing, yeah?
There's no picture of it there. I'm just.
No.
What was it? SDP1.
Needed 2 people to carry the bugger.
SDP.
I still fancy getting another EPS.
they're cool. Do you follow that guy, Daydream Sound, with him online?
No,
Does a lot of stuff
no.
on Sonic and Emu and stuff. He's a
Okay.
hardcore user. He just recently came out with a cool thing to exploit the processing on the ASR10, the EPS, EPS16, and the what's the other one? There's another one he has in the series. And there are samplers that have the extra special processing, like they took the Wade Boy plugins and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, he came up with this thing he called the Carpenter Sawdust, little pun thing. And he made some custom waves, and he sells a little kit.
Yeah, that
on
looks
floppy
like it,
disk.
Rick.
And oh yeah, look at that. And he's into processing stuff and tweaking things and detuning things and all the standard stuff you do with old samplers. Interesting guy.
Yeah. It looks like it, but doesn't.
I think I've seen that one.
I'm sure it was curved at the front and it came up much higher. But it was a long time ago. It's about 30 years ago.
This was 86.
Yeah, it'd be about right. Maybe a bit later. Maybe it was a follow-up one to it. Perhaps.
Yeah, could be.
I don't know.
Anyway, I need my bed. It's
Time to hit
2:45.
the sack, Jack.
I'll be up at 8.
Yeah,
I'll do some work.
I got to do another lamb tomorrow morning.
Oh wow!
Well, I will. I think Howard's coming
Nothing
over.
wakes you up more than trying to work on a memory moog at first thing in the morning.
I think Howard's coming over about 7 o'clock
Oh, Christ.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tonight, should I say?
Do. Yeah.
So I will let you know how that goes.
I'll probably know if it's not working. I'll hear the screaming from here.
Right.
I mean, you guys, you said you already checked it thoroughly, pretty much, right? So if that's it, then it's just
You've checked all the boards.
There was no boards left to check, was there? Really?
No. So
This has to be it, surely.
yeah.
The annoying thing was I had that all working once.
Yeah. But as you said, those transistors went on that particular line. They could have gone any time.
well, it's like my DW8000s. I have 2 dead ones now because one was working perfectly fine, and one was okay when I got it, and now they're both completely dead. And factory resetting and doing all the little tricks online, reloading the patches, everything, nothing works. It won't create any sound.
Yeah.
Well, Fingers crossed.
That's what happened to my EPS.
Yeah,
It died, and then it died properly.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it wouldn't do anything. Okay, guys.
All right.
Good time. See you all.
Sleep well.
Till next time.
Indeed.
Thanks.
See you soon.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Look after yourselves.
Bye.